20th rushing touchdown that leads the nation.
On Sports 1440.
Going deep. Christian watching down there. Touchdown Packers.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3rd and 8. Here comes the blitz. Now you saw it, Tony. There's Pickens, who pirouettes around the defender and takes off past Edwards. Oh my gosh! What a leap that.
What a fantastic, positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Of course, it is Friday. Lotto Max, $60 million up for grabs. PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck there. We got some odds boost, the Gregor Show. Be sure to check it out every day. There's always a few different ones that you can get in on at PlayAlberta.ca. We have an NBA play today. We're going with the favorites to win big. The Lakers to beat Dallas, as well as the Thunder to beat the Suns by cover the spread. And then you know what? For a positive Friday, Oilers fans, this is courtesy of the con man. Oilers to beat the Kraken and be the last team to score. Ooh, so check that one out at PlayAlberta.ca. Hope you are having a lovely Friday afternoon. It's a little bit slick out there. I saw people sliding through the intersections. This is the time. Don't wait. Get your winter tires, boys and girls. It could save you a lot of hassle, a lot of frustration, a lot of hand clenching. Right? I've been in that situation, right? You go to hit the brakes. And then you can just see that car coming and you're closing in. You're like, oh my God, please move, please move. You're thinking, can I get to the ditch? Oh, it's the worst feeling, the worst. So hopefully you can avoid it. In the sports world, one of the worst feelings is losing and not playing well. And that's where the Edmonton Oilers are at right now. We will talk more Oilers. We got some injury updates for you. Sit down. You're not going to love it, but we'll get to that. Gene Principe is going to join us in hour number one. John Collin joining us talking curling. How about the fact that the Olympic qualifier now is a best of 3 in the final? I kind of love it, to be honest. I think it's fantastic. Like, representing your country in the Olympics is a big deal. And rather than just a one game off, now it's a best of 3. I love it. So we'll talk to John about that. Tim Booth will break down the Kraken, who don't score a lot, but they don't give up very much. They are one of the least dangerous offensive teams in the National Hockey League, as they come in scoring 2.457 goals per game. That is 29th in the NHL. But you know where they are good? They have the second lowest goals against in the league. They don't give up a lot. So Oilers, if they continue to self-destruct, tomorrow's going to be a tough game. So the Oilers will need to be patient, smart, and engaged. Offensively, defensively, everywhere. Stop gifting goals, win some battles, and try to find a way to score. Now, doesn't make it easy. Get Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back. Jack Roslovic is out. That's not a trade you wanted to make if you're an Oilers fan. You would have liked to have both of them in the lineup. Chris Knobloch. So Roslovic is out multiple weeks. Not expected to be back anytime soon, was the last line by Knobloch. So that's why I wrote multiple weeks. That could be 3. That could be 6. Who knows? So not good. No broken bone, though. I can tell you that. Kasperi Kapanen is out at least a week. It could be longer because I got to reassess him. So that's not good. And Jake Wallman is progressing. Not playing tomorrow. Hoping maybe sometime next week. So they play tomorrow, then they play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday next week. But that's kind of best case scenario for Jake Wallman. So, they're hoping Kasperi Kapanen could come in and add some speed and physicality and some skill in their bottom 6, but he's not back. And Roslovic was playing great. Already had 10 goals on the season for the Oilers. Was fantastic. and now he's out. That's a big blow. Sure, hey, Nugent Hopkins comes back in. It'll be seamless on the power play. But 5-on-5, that's a blow. Roslovic was playing very well. So that's bad news. Now, injuries all over the place. Lucas Dostal, he's got an upper body injury, and he's going to be out at least 2 to 3 weeks for the Anaheim Ducks, who one of the teams that the Oilers are chasing in the Pacific Division. And Dostal has been excellent. He's top 10 and goal save above expected. He's been really good for the Ducks. So that is a big blow to them. Willie Nylander not playing today. Is he going to get another nomination for comeback player of the year because he came back after the flu? But he woke up this morning ill. Max Domi was actually going to be a healthy scratch, but with Nylander out, Domi will play tonight, later this afternoon for the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course. Lots of games in the NHL today, 15 in fact. There's only 2 teams not playing, your Edmonton Oilers and their opponent tomorrow, the Seattle Kraken. We've already had a few games. The Lightning double up on the Red Wings 6-3. I really wonder how long before Detroit says, Sebastian Cossa, it might be your time here. Because, John Gibson today allows 5 goals, 27 shots, save percentage of .815. He's just not playing very well. Remember when everybody, get Gibson over Skinner. Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, John Gibson was a really good goalie in 2017, 18, 19. Yeah, not necessarily in 25 and 26. I think is the answer. But Tampa Bay is playing quite well right now. They are a team that looking real good, to be honest. Real good. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our inbox. Other games today, the Rangers spanking the Bruins by a score of 6-2. Artemi Panarin with a 4-point afternoon as the Rangers are on their way back in. Boston had a little bit of a run, but man, you look at the amount of chances they are giving up. They're expecting their goaltenders, and Jeremy Swayman, no surprise, he leads the NHL in goals saved above expected. He's been fantastic, but they are leaky defensively, are the Bruins. But Morgan Geekie, the leading goal scorer in the calendar year of 2025, scores again his 18th of the season. So they got Swayman going, they got Pasternak, and they got Geekie, and then after that, it's a little slim pickings. The Avalanche and the Wild teams have been pitching shutouts galore. Well, guess what? 5 minutes left in the first, still no goals. There you got the Devils and the Sabres, Flames and the Panthers just starting. Flyers, Islanders, Sens are in St. Louis, take on the Blues. Canadians on the road in Vegas. LA and Ducks, they've already just started as well. Canucks later on, the Sharks, Toronto and Washington. Winnipeg in Carolina. Penguins, Blue Jackets, Predators, Blackhawks, Mammoth, and the Stars. Now that Jets-Hurricanes game. So the Winnipeg Jets, since it was announced, they've actually played 4 games without Hellebuck, but one of them was the regular start for Comrie. Then they announced that Hellebuck is out. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. They're 0-3 since they announced that. And now today is the start of a 6-game in 9-day stretch. They play today against Carolina, then tomorrow in Nashville, Monday in Buffalo, Wednesday in Montreal. They come home for 1 game on Friday, and then they play in Edmonton next Saturday. So 6 games in 9 days, 2 of them back-to-back. So you're going to have a rookie goalie start his 2 games of his NHL career, most likely. And one of them might be against Edmonton. We'll see. But that's a tough back-to-back, Edmonton and Winnipeg, especially when there's no airport in Winnipeg. Makes it even harder. But it's a pretty challenging one nonetheless, just due to travel. And we'll see. The Jets, this is a real big stretch, I think, for them. Real big stretch. So we'll see. Colin Chalk, the head coach of the Condors, will join us. We'll talk about Ike Howard, Robbie Yarventi, and a few others. How's Connor Ingram looking? Low Tide will be by. Craig Button will join us. We got Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. As always, we'll get your thoughts. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Lots of text. Hey, guys. How does Rossi get a 2-week injury in practice? It's practice, James. James, didn't happen in practice. Roslovic got injured against Dallas. Kapanen got injured in practice. He just their skates collided and they got tied up, and you fall the wrong way. And whether he re-aggravated his current injury, it's different. I don't know. I know it was an MCL issue before. I just don't know if it's the exact same. It looked like it was his leg. I just don't remember if it was the same leg or not. So, but that was Kasperi Kapanen, and sometimes when you have bad luck, that's what happens. So, hey, Greg's, what do you mean there's no airport in Winnipeg? Sizzler, it's an inside joke, buddy. It's a long-running joke at Oilers Nation. So check into it, then you'll get it. It's good. Also today, NFL, you got the Bears taking on the Eagles. And break up the Bears, boys and girls. Connor Halley. They lead the Eagles 10-3 late in the half. Eagles are driving now. But, man, the Chicago Bears, a lot of people thought, they're entering tough stretch here. Now they're going to show that they're not that good. Well, I know it's only the half, and the Eagles are like, hey, wait a sec. We were up 21-0 last half and lost, so obviously the game's not over. But, man, the Eagles, they still look out of sorts.
Yeah, absolutely. Jalen Hurts can't really find that rhythm, and they're not running the ball particularly well either. Saquon Barkley averaging 3.8 yards per carry. Not a great start for them. Like you said, though, lots of football to be played. Got to give the credit to the Chicago Bears, though. Their defense is playing stout and running the ball really well from two backs. Amon averaging over 5. How about DeAndre Swift? If you got him in fantasy, 8 carries, 77 yards. That's 9.6 yards per carry. Pretty good start for DeAndre Swift and the Bears. And, going into Philadelphia, tough place to play, almost executing a perfect road game, just running the football. Caleb Williams isn't doing anything spectacular, but that's okay. They're winning.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. They're only winning by one score.
Yeah.
It's 10-3. Jalen Hurts has passed for 46 yards, and the Eagles have rushed for a total of 26 yards so far. That's it. They got 72 yards. Meanwhile, the Bears have rushed for 131 and passed for 70 yards. So, you got 200 yards to basically 72, but it's only 10-3. Like, they're marching up. So you got to be a little bit better there, I would think, in that regard. You want to take advantage and build a little bit of cushion. Now it's a one-score game, even though you've dominated. And Saquon Barkley can't run the ball. 6 carries, 23 yards. Jalen Hurts, how about him? 4 for 9 for 46 yards. You know what he looks like? He looks like he's scared. He thinks more of, this might be an interception rather than a completion. That guy won't throw a tight ball in coverage, save his life. It's wild right now. Absolutely wild to watch. So that's, I find that rather interesting.
That's
AJ,
17-1 touchdown interception ratio, Gregor. That's, you're seeing it here. He doesn't throw a lot of 50-50 balls.
Yeah, I know everyone's like, he doesn't throw any interceptions. Yeah, well, doesn't complete a lot of passes. Like that can be a little bit misleading at times. I know you don't want to be a gunslinger and just throw interception after interception. I understand that. But to me, there's still got to be a little bit of willingness to you can't be scared of the interception. You don't want to throw one, but you can't be scared of it. If that makes any sense. Hey, Greg's, what do you think of Clattenburg getting promoted to the third line? Well, I know we'll pump the brakes. You know what? Let him do what he's doing now. I'll say this. I think all you got now, last game was a blowout, so that's different. And if anything, Clattenburg should have earned the coach's trust. Say, hey, I know this guy. He's going to give me everything he has every shift. And that's valuable. So yeah, if there's anybody in the top 9 that starts sleeping at the wheel, thank you. Play him more. Right? Play him more. So, and it's interesting to me when you look at the Oilers lineup. And by the way, Stuart Skinner is going to start. I know that Knobloch said they haven't made the decision, but I can tell you most certainly Stuart Skinner is starting tomorrow against the Seattle Kraken, as they should. He's had a few days of practice. He's your starter, right? Plus, Calvin Pickard's last few games against Seattle, no, not doing it. So I'm playing Stuart Skinner there. Now, you might play Pickard the second time against Seattle because Seattle's here next Thursday. So we'll see. But I'm starting Skinner for sure in Seattle. It's going to be McDavid with Hyman and Savoy, Draisaitl with Mangiapane and Podkolzin, Nugent Hopkins with Janmark and Henrique, Lazar, Clattenburg, and Frederick. And that's a little message sent here to Trent Frederick. You got to get going. Right? Like, what if Rosovic and Kapanen were healthy? Would you be in the lineup? So yeah, chop. He's got to get going. Get some energy. right now you're playing with the Energizer Bunny in Clattenburg, so get going. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Regula, Kulak, Emerson, that's the same. Nothing changes. They don't have another healthy defenseman. Right now, David Tomasic is the extra forward, will not play tomorrow, barring illness or sickness. He looks like the guy out. There won't be a morning skate for the Oilers because, of course, that is a matinee game. 1 o'clock Seattle time, 2 o'clock Edmonton time. We will have the pregame show tomorrow right here on Sports 1440, Walker and Paulson. Oh, is it the Duke hosting tomorrow? Oh, the Duke. Wow, jeez. Will he be able to get up by that time? We'll see.
Well, that's a question. What's he doing tonight?
Well, I think it's a rare Friday night off for the Duke. So he's probably, he's probably going to put his cowboy boots on, right? His extra dark blue jeans.
Starched.
Oh, yeah. He loves the starched shirt.
You tell me. He's going to Beaumont. When does Beaumont shut down?
He's going to Beaumont tonight?
Out to Beaumont, yeah.
Might be hitting out Sea Change.
Yeah, good spot.
Yeah.
Great spot.
He might stop at Cook County on his way home. I could see it. Very, very plausible. So, yeah, if you see a guy wandering around Beaumont tonight, unsure of his surroundings, yeah, that's the Duke. Probably wearing his jean jacket, right? He's got one of those leather. He's got the jean jacket with the, it's kind of like the heated like the lined jean jacket cons. He likes rolling out with that one. So that's probably what he'll be wearing tonight. So there you go. Let's go to a quick break. We'll come back. Mean Gene will join us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$221. Welcome back. Positive Friday. PlayAlberta.ca came up with the Connor special, we call it today, for the Jason Gregor Show, which has Oilers winning by 2 and the last team to score with a big odds boost. So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Just find the Gregor Show and you'll see it right there. Love it. Let's get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. Not only they have the best selection in vehicles, over 15,000. Also, they got unreal prices right now on winter tires, because many of you, I've seen it firsthand, slip sliding away through intersections. Get some winter tires. GoAuto.ca. Gene Principe joins us. Gene's probably one of those guys who, well, no, maybe not. I don't know if Gene would ever have worked in a situation where he would put chains on his tires. So probably a little bit too pretty for that. Gene Principe from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Gino, how you doing? You never had a job, did you, that forced you to have to put chains on your tires to drive in treacherous conditions?
We'll
have to reconnect that. Yeah, that's we can't. We'll get Gene on the phone there. I don't know what. Who knows? Maybe he was trying to connect his chains as we were talking. Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? If you worked in the oil field or definitely in trucking, you have likely had to put chains on at some point. It is the first time I remember. The first time I did it, I was losing my mind. It wasn't once I figured out how to put them on properly, it was much better. But God, the first time it took me way too long. I still remember my my coworker watching with a bunch of humor and then maybe leading into impatience, but it took a while. And, I still remember 19 years of age, and it was it was a test of your character, as they like to say. That's what I always tell my son now. When you deal with something that's tough, I'm like, well, it's a test of your character. He doesn't love it, but hey, that's what dads are for. Gene joins us now. Gino, you ever had a job that you had to chain up?
No, but in relation to ice, because that's why you would have those chains. My first job, I worked at the Ice Peddler in Edmonton. I don't think it's around anymore. But basically, I was bagging ice, and it was I guess you could say the coolest job I've ever had. I mean, it was cold because you were in a freezer and you were bagging ice, but no chains were. The only chain I had was the Italian one around my neck. I was working at the Ice Peddler.
Oh, I saw pictures of young Gene, man. You know, he had the big fro on and shirt unbuttoned down to, your nipples, and he had the chain. You loved it, eh?
I did enjoy those days. The 80s were, I'm happy, every decade has been good, from, youth to working your way to finding your career, getting married, kids. But the 80s was, it was just a fantastic decade, I think, for those. So I would have been 13 when I started, 23 when I finished that decade. So there's a lot of growing up and finding your way through stuff. So, it was a great decade. And that look was something that was quite familiar back then.
Oh yeah, for sure. A look that hasn't been very familiar the last few years for the Oilers has been porous defensively. They've been a top 10 defensive team the last 2 years, especially under Chris Knobloch. And this season, there's all sorts of trouble in different areas, puck management, battle level, intensity. I asked Chris about it today, and he was like, yes, because I outlined the areas where they needed to get better. And he was just like, they're a lot more open and aware of what's been bothering this team, what's been plaguing this team, and now we'll see if they can find their game.
Yeah, it was your question, and you did rattle off 4 or 5 things, and you're right. Chris was like, yes. I mean, there's nothing to hide here. What's Oil Country fans know exactly what's going on, both good and bad, and in between, and so there's no point in kind of pretending there isn't a challenge. And I love what Brett Kulak said. Brett's a local kid, and just recently passed 600 games in the NHL. Fantastic success story, and he's been probably the kind of the barometer of his great game and his bad game are like not very far apart, and that is a compliment to the bad part, not a discredit to the great part. But even Brett admitted, I'm like everybody else, just trying to sort of find my game. And I love what he said, when it came to the talk about defense today. And he said, listen, if we don't play defense and we don't play it the way we have in the past, we're not going to win games, and we're not going to win the Stanley Cup. And I felt like that was kind of like it's no elephant in the room because they've been to back-to-back Cup finals, but that everybody in hockey in Edmonton, maybe wearing an Oilers jersey, potentially wearing a suit, part of management. I mean, everybody knows and thinks that that's all they have left to accomplish is to win the Cup. And so I thought it was a great way to just sort of release it and say, yeah, we know we can't win games. And if we can't win games with our defense, we're not going to win the Stanley Cup. And I just thought it was kind of a neat way for him to, I guess, let everyone know that they're feeling the same way as those of us that cover the team and those that, watch and just pour their heart and soul into it.
Yeah. And so, the Oilers got some bad news today. Roslovic is out. They don't expect him back anytime soon. Multiple weeks, which could mean 3, could mean 6, who knows? But he's out for a while. Kapanen has got to get reassessed, but he's out at least a week, and they don't know. Wallman, I guess, is the best news. He's progressing. He did skate again today by himself. Maybe sometime next week is the outline. But the Jack Roslovic injury, it's funny. For a guy who was signed on October 8th, man, he has been easily the best free agent signing for the Edmonton Oilers and one of the best bang for your bucks of any free agent signing, already with 10 goals, making $1.5 million. Like, he's a point a game player. That's a big loss for Edmonton.
Yeah, we had a stat. I think it was the Florida game, I believe, and that was the question: is who is providing the biggest, bang for your buck when it comes to unrestricted free agents? And Jack signed, a little bit later and hasn't been able to play every game. But the other guy that was Andreas Johansson. I think he signed for $900,000 in Minnesota, and he was the biggest sort of bang for your buck. And Jack was right beside him, not far away. And I agree with you. I sometimes, Jason, and you know this, you know a player, but you don't really know them until you see them day in and day out. You watch them and on the team that you cover. And I mean, Jack certainly played in Winnipeg. It wasn't that far away. It wasn't like he was in the East his entire career, but much of it was. And so I have to admit, I feel bad. I didn't really appreciate how good of a player he is. And a couple of things that stick out are his stick handling. He's really good at that. And I just didn't realize how fast he was on skates. I don't know. Maybe I hadn't watched enough of him on a regular basis, but I've been really impressed. And for sure, losing a guy like that has been a wonderful revelation. And after having about a 6 or 7 game opportunity to just kind of get himself set with the team, I mean, he's been great. And so if you had told me a while ago, that they'd be missing Jack, I would have been okay, not great. But now that we were told that today by Chris Knobloch, it's a real shot to them not to have him in the lineup.
Yeah, no, he's been excellent, better than advertised, to be honest. I watched him play. I never knew he was that silky smooth with the puck, and so that's a big lot. I even think Kapanen. I really like Kapanen in the playoffs, and I thought he was one of the few guys who was playing well before he got injured this season for Edmonton. And then I know, to see how he got hurt in practice yesterday, literally in the final drill of practice, and just unfortunate, gets tied up with the teammate and goes down, and you saw his frustration, and now they don't know. So, he's probably out multiple weeks again, which is tough mentally, but they need some guys here to step up. And, Clattenburg's been a great story. You know what? He's playing 9-10 minutes. That's awesome for him. But when you have a rookie who's 20 years old, who's 18 months removed from being drafted in the 5th round, and he's your emotional leader, that's a problem.
Well, yeah, it's certainly not the way you would draw it up. I agree with you. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Curtis Lazar are cleared, and I'm sure you had that yesterday on your show that they are scheduled to play, which is great news to have those two guys back in the lineup. And as Coach joked today, that the other players joke that RNH is his favorite player, and then he listed off about 10 things that RNH can do just as well as almost anyone on the team. So it kind of does sound like it's his favorite player, but a player that you can depend on and lean on and be comfortable with and trust. And I mean, those are the things you'd love to have all the time from every player. And that changes game to game or month to month, week to week, but that's going to be great for them. And Clattenburg, I mean, I think that when he was called up, it was expected that he was going to be, in and then out, that he was just very temporary, but he hasn't done anything to warrant getting sent back to the minors. And so here he is, unfortunately, thanks to some ailments for other players, because we believe that Kapanen would be back. And I agree with you, Kasperi's really, I don't know if underrated is the right word, but maybe underappreciated, just because you got a team full of so many players that catch your attention in various ways. But I really like him. And that is, it's one thing to be in a game and get hurt, battling against the other team, but to sort of re-injure or do something new to yourself that now leaves you again from a week to several weeks, that is a tough one. But, I'm going to ride the Clattenburg train here. I just think this is a wonderful story. This kid from Arnprior, Ontario, just outside of Ottawa, seeing his family there and enjoying his debut in the NHL, and then to score a goal in his second NHL game, and also do some of the other things that are the main reason he was called up. I think it's a great story, and I think it's inspiring, even for so many Oilers who are, whether they're in their 20s or, early 30s. It is kind of a throwback to a throwback player who has brought them energy.
Gene Principe, 100%. It is, it's good. And, hopefully it rubs off on some other players. I know the players talk about how this practice has been good for them. It's a little bit of a reset mentally. I know they've played a lot of hockey. They played the most games in the NHL in a short period of time. And so now they only play once in 6 days, 2 games, I think, in 10 days. So, after this little break, and they're at home now, like, there's an opportunity here for them to kind of reset themselves. Do you think that they will? Or is this problem not going to be solved in 5 games?
You know what? I would say a heavy yes on that. I really think, Jason, that this is going to be the moment in the season where things go the way that we're so used to things going for them. I think that, they had their low point against Dallas, and I heard you talk about it. Even though the score was worse against Colorado, I think the Dallas game felt worse. And I think that a couple of days of practice, and I love the idea. I know, when I saw that the team was off Wednesday, your first, reaction, I'm sure fans were like, what, they're off? No, let them have a day. They've been away. They despite maybe the result, they are trying to get going in the right direction. And so I thought that was a great way Wednesday, just to send everybody home. But, if it was a young team, inexperienced team that hadn't accomplished anything, you might go, well, maybe that's not right. But this team knows what they need to do and how they need to do it. And I think the day was an opportunity to kind of clear their head. And then it was back to practice. And I thought today, Jason, you were there. I thought there was a lot of spirit. And those are the things, you've been to practices with the team that maybe is struggling and it's, dead quiet. There's nothing. And I thought today was great. And that's what the coach said. He said, yesterday was good. Today was even better. And so I really feel like this is kind of the push, the moment, the situation that will move them forward. And I know we won't know till starting tomorrow and then after that, but I'm confident that this is the time where we're going to start to see the Edmonton Oilers that have been to back-to-back cup finals.
Gino, give me your thoughts on Team Canada, switching gears very quickly. And what's your expectations for them coming up for the men's at the World Cup in Canada?
Geez, sorry, you're talking about the Olympics?
Jason? No, the World Cup of soccer. It's coming here.
World Cup of soccer, sorry. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Well, by the way, if anyone has tickets, let me know. So that's first and foremost. I'm kind of. It's going to be interesting, Jason. I mean, a victory for the good of the game and the future of the game would be to advance past the opening round, right, and get into the knockout stage. So if they did that, to me, that would be a huge success. I know that's not winning the World Cup. I'm not sure Canada is set to do that, but anything past the opening stage to me is a victory and a growth for the game. For so many kids, to me, it's kids that'll be watching this, and instead of maybe going, I want to be blank, they'll say, I want to be a soccer player. And so I think that's going to be wonderful. And I had a chance to go to the Euros right after the first round of the Cup final in 2024. And as I've said to people, I feel like I've fallen in love with soccer again, just in a different way. And so I think it's going to be a great event. I mean, for anyone who has some interest in soccer, get yourself to it if you can, geographically, financially, holiday-wise, because I just think it's an incredible tournament. And I'm looking forward to being there. I don't know if I'm going to be working, but I'm definitely going to try and be a fan if I'm not working. So we didn't get in the lottery for the tickets.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to get some, and hopefully, we're split. We're sort of a trifecta between Germany for my wife, Italy for me, and then Canada for my whole family. So we'll see where that leads, but I'm really looking forward to it. It seemed so far away when they originally got it, but now within a month, the calendar virtually flips to 2026, and then it'll be, run to the Cup and run to the World Cup. Stanley first, then World.
Yeah, no, it should be awesome. We look forward to it. Gene, have a safe trip to Seattle, and we will chat with you next week.
Thanks, Jason. Have a great weekend to you and all your listeners and viewers.
There you go. That is Gene Principe from Rogers Sportsnet. 2:38. Oh, my goodness. This is you thought the Oilers. I could have a question right now. What is less appealing to watch? The Oilers' defensive play or the Eagles' offensive play? Oh, they are equally ugly. The difference is the Eagles are 8-3. So I guess you'd have to say the Oilers defensively. But, man, the Eagles look terrible right now. Quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake. But it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee. Still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Aloha, Edmonton. It's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Tonight, 6 till midnight. Don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person tonight at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and you can play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksYEG.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
244 Positive Friday. How are you? Be sure to take a little extra time. Intersections are slippery. It is fender bender. Well, let's be honest. When it gets cold like this, little touch and all of a sudden everything's cracking. So you don't want to do that. Avoid it. Give a little extra time for the person in front of you. Don't worry. You get to listen to us a little bit more. What's extra 5 minutes in your life to get home? Oh, it's way better than an accident. It's the worst. You've been in one before, you know. Even if you're not hurt, it's just the worst. So try to avoid it. Is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of Alberta. PlayAlberta.ca. And check out the Gregor Show daily specials. We got the con special today. All right, check it out. Now, we are going to talk a little curling as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province, and they are hiring 53 years and more. They're growing. You want to work for them? They're looking for second, third, and fourth year electricians. Send your resume, careers@actionelectrical.net. As we are joined by former curler, of course, he's an author, analyst from the Curling Zone. We are joined now by John calling to discuss the Grand Slam of curling. I love the fact that they changed the format, John, first of all, and welcome to the show, that it's now to qualify for the Olympics is the best of 3 to the final. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely positive. I've talked about this quite a bit over the last few days, as this does seem to be kind of the big news thing with the trials, as people are starting to realize we're getting into the final stretch here. But yeah, I think it's protection, right? Like what is the goal of the Olympic trials? It's to qualify the best team for Canada at the Olympics. And what's a good way to do that? It's to give the team multiple chances if they have a bad game. Like, for example, Rachel Homan did not have her best game today. No. She did scrape out with a win against Christina Black, but there was definitely a world where Christina Black could have won that game, and then you would have given Rachel Homan that sort of extra protection to win the next 2 and get in. So yeah, I like it too, for sure.
Yeah, well, Homan was up 3-0 and looked like they had it in control. And then now, was the ice different today? Because it looked like they were struggling at times with it.
Yeah, the ice has been challenging all week, actually, Jason. And I think it's not amazing. There's been a lot of frost. People on the ground in Halifax have been telling me it's humid. It's been rainy there. And so a lot of times it's not even the ice maker's fault. It's just very difficult to control the frost in the building, because you have people coming in from outside. They're wet. They come into the building. You know, it just creates this humid sort of atmosphere. But it's not even so much that. It's more just that it seems to be changing every draw. And Rachel's second, Emma Miskew, in her post-game press conference kind of said, you know, if you knew you were going to win the semi, you actually would rather play in the semi. Like, Christina Black got to play on that sheet yesterday, got to see those ice conditions. And so they were maybe just a little bit more familiar with how the ice had changed from the round robin, where, you know, you have all 4 sheets busy, everybody's playing out there. It's just, yeah, it's more that it's changing, I think, rather than it's like quote unquote bad ice, I would say.
Okay. So a little bit unpredictable from game to game, or even day to day. So Homan's up 1-0 now. Obviously it'll be a major comeback for Christina Black to be able to win 2 in a row against, right? Because Homan's she's being the best Canadian curler now for quite some time. I think prior to her loss in this tournament, I think she'd won 30 consecutive games against Canadian opponents. And it's not like when I say that, it's not like she's beating up on a country that's not very good. Like, Canadians, you know, the deepest pool, and yet she was 30-0 there for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, there's all these Rachel Homan stats you can throw out about their last 2 years. They've basically been on the best run we've ever seen in the sport's history in either gender. But here's a simple stat for you, Jason. In the last 2 seasons, Rachel has never lost 2 games in a row. So if Christina Black was going to win and beat Rachel twice in a row, she would be the first person to do it in over 2 calendar years. So yeah, Christina was ranked fairly low on the totem pole coming into this event, was one of the lower ranked teams in the event. They're a great team. They're playing really well. They're on home soil there in Halifax, but yeah, it's a tall order for any team in the world to beat Rachel twice in a row. And I think it's an even taller order for Christina, for sure.
And then you switch over to the men's side, and Matt Dunstone started unreal. He was 4-0, and then he lost 3 straight, but then they rebounded in the semifinals, and now they're going to take on Brad Jacobs. How do you analyze this men's final?
I mean, it's the 2 best teams in Canada. What more could you ask for? Dunstone number 2 coming in, Brad Jacobs number 3. That's in the world, and both playing very well coming into this event. I look at it as Jacobs is a slight favorite just based on how well they've played this week. They're 6-1, and they've won 6 in a row. They stumbled out of the gates. They lost their first game to Kevin Cooey, then they won the next 6. They've looked very strong, and it's all 4 players who have been there before. All 4 players on Brad Jacobs' team have won an Olympic trials final before. They've all been to the Olympics. For Matt and Colton, Matt's obviously the skip. Colton is the 3rd. So the 2 most important members of the team, they've never won the big one before. They haven't won a Brier. They haven't won a World Juniors. They haven't won an Olympic trials. And so the Harndens have, Ryan and EJ, they've both won Briers and they've been to Olympics. But yeah, it's that to me is where I'm paying the most attention, is can Matt kind of finally push it over the line? Can this be the first big one that he wins? Or does the sort of experience of Brad Jacobs win out here?
Well, it will be a fantastic, fascinating look. It starts tonight at 4:30, and then game 2 tomorrow, and then if necessary, of course, on Sunday. Going back to Homan, it's interesting that as great as she's been, she hasn't been great on the international scale as much.
Yeah, I mean, Olympics for sure. She's won the last 2 world championships. So internationally speaking, very solid. She's won 3 world championships total. But yeah, the Olympics has been her bugaboo. And, when people were asking me before the trials starts, is there any way Rachel Homan can lose? I said, well, if I'm a women's team in this field, all I'm thinking is get me to the final. Get me to the final, and does the pressure of the Olympics get to Rachel? Because she made the Olympics in 2018, was the best team in the world at that time as well. She won the Worlds in 2017 and was the best team in the world going into that 2018 Olympics, missed the playoffs. Yeah. Then she goes to the 2022 Olympics, mixed doubles, misses the playoffs. Then she had a chance to get back to the Olympics in mixed doubles last December. She made the final of the mixed doubles trials with Brendan Bottcher, played pretty poorly in that mixed doubles final. So I think it's just, you're the team playing them. You want to put that pressure on them, and maybe the specter of the Olympics gets to Rachel. And we said it earlier, they didn't have their best game today, Jason. So we'll see. I mean, that's kind of what Christina Black is hoping for, that maybe it's just clearing that hurdle and getting back to the Olympics kind of puts a little seed of doubt in Rachel's mind.
When you look overall at this new format and you talk to all of the teams in it, is this like a no-brainer that this is something that they've liked? Like, was it pushed for hard? Or is it just because, and I forget his name, the guy who came over from Europe, he was part of it and he said, hey, that's what they do here over there, so now we're going to bring it here.
David Murdoch is the name you're looking for. Yeah. I think for every curler I've talked to likes it. And again, I think it's just, it's that extra life. It creates a little more excitement for the fans too. And I think, there's been times Canada has a long history of upset winners winning the trials, because you get in that 1-game playoff. Again, you have that specter of the Olympics looming over the game. Anything can happen. And I think, we'll go back to what I said at the beginning. The goal of the trials is to qualify the best teams. So all of the teams going into this are going to think or have the confidence, well, we are the best team. So if we are the best team, why wouldn't we want that extra life? And also, if you can beat the other top team 2 out of 3 times, that probably means you're a pretty good team. So I have not talked to a curler that's been like, I hate this, or this is a bad idea.
Yeah, no. And I think it's smart to do. Overall, curling, I think Canada continues to be one of the top nations around all the time. They, there was a few years ago that people were a little concerned, teams are changing too quickly. That seems to have has died down. When you just look at overall the health of curling right now in Canada, how is this the healthiest it's been? Well, what would you make of curling right now in Canada?
That's a very loaded question. How much time do you have? It is, I don't. Judging the health is very interesting, right? Because it's sort of that grassroots versus the elite conversation, right? Like, curling used to be a sort of any given Sunday sport. You kind of felt like even if you were not the best team in the world, if you had your best game, you could beat the best team in the world. And that kept a lot of people playing. There was hope. You probably weren't going to win, but there was hope that you could. And now we're at the point where the top teams, you don't really have hope. If you're 50th or 60th in the world and you're playing Rachel Homan, you do not have a chance of winning that game. And so I think the depth is maybe the worst it's ever been, because you have people leaving the sport because they just feel like they can't compete with the Homans and the Jacobs and the Dunstones of the world. But at the elite level, we're seeing across the board, across the globe, curling is being played at a level that's never been played at before. And Canada is keeping up. I mean, Rachel Homan's #1 in the world with a bullet on the men's side. 3 of the top 6 teams in the world on the men's side are Canadian. So I would say on the elite level, it is healthy, but I think curling is still sort of brainstorming ways to keep people playing now that the elite game is getting to a point where it's untouchable for a sort of middling team.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting about that is the younger ones, like at the competitive at young, because you got to bring up through the ranks. Doesn't matter whether it's football, hockey, basketball. Obviously, you need the future curlers. And I don't necessarily have a problem because I look at other sports. If you want to be elite, then you're elite. And the elite, there's no guys that play. Well, I kind of chuckle every now and then. There's guys in rec league. I'm like, dude, the dream's over. Okay.
There's no scouts in the stands, buddy.
But so having that elite channel is there, and that's good. Is there enough of a pipeline coming that, well, there might be fewer elite teams. There's still going to be a pipeline of elite players.
That's the big question, right? Because I think, again, when I was coming up, like I'm 40. So when I was coming up through the men's ranks, I was going to university. I was starting my career as a teacher, and I still had the dream that like I could make the Briar. I could make some noise at the Briar once I got there. And that was fully reasonable. And now what you're seeing is it's a little bit more like other professional sports where you kind of have to decide around 18 or 19 years old when you graduate high school, like, is curling going to be my life? Or am I going to go have a job? And the problem with curling compared to other sports is the money is not always a convincing factor, right? It's one thing if you can say, well, I might make the NHL and I can make millions of dollars. And another thing to say, well, I'm going to give up my whole life to curl and maybe I'll make 50 grand a year. That'd be actually really good if I could do that. So yeah, I think that is the concern right now in Canada is, are we doing enough to support those younger curlers to want them to keep playing? Like, can we get enough money in the game where you can convince them to keep going? Because other countries with their curlers that are the same age, they're paying them, right? So they're getting their good junior curlers, they're getting them into sport government programs, and they're getting them paid. And to date, we're not really doing a great job of that. So that's going to be what Curling Canada and David Murdoch is really going to have to focus on over the next 5 years or so, because we are seeing this sort of golden generation of Canadian curlers that we've had over the last 2 decades, all retiring from the sport. So it's going to be interesting.
Awesome stuff. Who are you picking in the men's, John?
It's tough, but I am going Jacobs. I like the experience there. And, what have you done for me lately type thing. This week, they have looked like the better team. And often the team that's been good the whole week at the trials is the one that wins it. So I'll go with Jacobs, but if Dunstone won, it would not be a shock at all.
Awesome stuff, man. We appreciate it. Enjoy the curling this weekend, John. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I will. Thanks for having me, Jason. Appreciate it.
There you go. That's John Collin giving us a rundown on the Grand Slam of curl. I love that change, man. I think it's fantastic. A one-off was great, but in that sport, now it's a best of 3. You win 2 out of 3, you say, hey, we're the best. I think it's fantastic, especially in a country that's got so many good top competitive teams. Kind of wish in the past that this was there, because there's a few, I think it's going to really kind of be even encourage more rivalries, to be honest, in the sport, right? When you all of a sudden you're going head to head and you play a best of 3, fans are watching. Like, curling fans love this. You can't tell me that you're going to be glued to your set watching the game tomorrow, of course, but then, the men's now, if there's a chance either one gets the Sunday, the men or the women, you dialed right in. It's going to be awesome. So I think it's great. More elite level sports is always better for me from an entertainment standpoint. Coming up, Tim Booth in the next hour will join us, talk about the Kraken, second best defensive team in the National Hockey League right now. Well, at least when it comes to goals allowed, 2.57 goals against per game. Only the Colorado Avalanche are better. Now, the difference is the Avs score a lot of goals. Seattle doesn't score a lot of goals. They're 29th in offense. So, low-scoring game coming. Pretty good chance. We'll discuss that and more. But first, to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Fountain Tire. As you slip through the intersection, pulling a Frank Costanza, there must be something more. Must be something better. Well, 15% off all winter tires right now at Fountain Tire. Don't go slipping into an accident. Stop it at Fountain Tire.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Some Oiler injury updates from our very own Jason Gregor. Jack Roslovic will be out multiple weeks. Kasperi Kapanen out a week at least and could be more, while Jake Wallman progressing and could return next week. on the ice right now. Nathan McKinnon has his league-leading 19th goal of the season. Avs on top of the Wild, 1-0 in the second period. Also, Devils up on the Sabres, 1-0. Flames and Panthers tied at 2 apiece. After 20 minutes, the Islanders trail the Flyers, while you've got the Canadians up on the Golden Knights, 1-0. Sharks and Canucks tied at 1 apiece. Later tonight, Caps, Maple Leafs, Jets in Carolina. Blackhawks will host the Preds, and the Stars taking on the Mammoth. Earlier today, Lightning double up the Red Wings 6-3, and the Rangers get past the Bruins 6-2. In the NFL, Week 13 action rolls on out in Philadelphia. Bears on top the Eagles 10-9. That one is in the third quarter. And in the association tonight, you got the Suns taking on the Thunder. Mavs meet the Lakers. Grizz taking on the Clippers, and the Bucks and Knicks. Canadian curling Olympic qualifying best-of-3 finals getting going today. The Holman rink went up 1-0 earlier today with a 5-4 win over Team Black. On the men's side, you got Jacobs Dunstone getting going at 4:30. WHL Oil Kings in action tonight, taking on the Rebels. That one gets going at 7 o'clock. BCHL Saints host Surrey. Both the Crusaders in Brooks. Both those games starting at 7 as well. And in the AJ4 game side, including Camrose and Drumheller, while Devon travels to Fort Mac. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, Wanye Gretz from Oilers Nation. We'll also talk some Kraken with Tim Booth of the Seattle Times and hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort you'll love this Christmas. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just call Legacy. Call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, doll. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
3 locations, endless sports action. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Sully's is the place to catch every game this fall. With tons of TVs, there's never a bad seat in the house. Check out the game night food and drink features and bring your friends for all the fun with Oilers watch parties all season long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
At Nisku Ford, we want your visit to feel as comfortable as a holiday gathering. When you shop with us, you're not just a customer, you're family. And we always give our family the best.
And the whole family is going to love our November deals. Find your favorite Ford, then choose from 0% financing or rebates as high as $10,000.
Nisku Ford to your holiday visits, or make your wish list at niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. How are you? And welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Can always get involved. You can text us 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Our email inbox. Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight could be your night. Could be a real positive Friday for you. How about $60 million? Lotto Max. Just remember the deal. If you win, you invite us to the party. If we win, we'll invite you. We'll have to have a few parties, but that's okay. I won 60 mil. I'd have lots of time to have lots of fun. I'll tell you that for sure. The Eagles. Oh, I was going to say the Eagle has landed, but they did score a touchdown, but then they missed the extra point. So they trail 10-9 as Jalen Hurts is he's 8 for 16 for a whopping 107 yards late in the third quarter. But the Bears offense not doing much themselves either. Caleb Williams has 90 yards passing to 107. And then the difference is the Bears are at least rushing the ball. They have 178 rushing yards combined. Eagles have 77. But
Jalen Hurts just fumbled too, Gregor.
Did he just fumble?
On a tush push.
Oh, mama.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. Well, there you go. So, yowzer. Edmonton Oilers, I got a few texts to get to on the injuries and other notes. We'll get to those as we welcome in Wanye Gretz to the show. Jays, are you eating over there?
Well, I thought you were going to keep talking. I
Oh,
thought perfect opportunity to finish his cookie.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I could hear it. But yeah, the Oilers, well, there's a few things. Gregor, what's the update on Roslovic? Not great. He is out. Don't expect him back anytime soon was the last words out of Knobloch's mouth today. He said that multiple weeks, not anytime soon. So what does that mean? That means 3 weeks. Like, I don't know what it means, but it's obviously not great for him. So that is that's not ideal. And then you have Kasperi Kapanen got injured at the last drill in practice yesterday, and he's out at least a week, but they're still waiting to see what the doc says, so probably going to be longer. And then you have Jake Wallman. I guess that's the best news. He's progressing. He's skated by himself before the team the last few days, and maybe next week is what Knobloch said. So sounds like Wallman will be the first guy back, but who knows? Kapanen and Roslovic, not anytime soon for Roslovic, and that's really too bad. He's been playing great, and I think they were excited to get Kapanen back, but obviously that will have to wait a little bit longer. And that just means some guys, because, hey, if they would have had to bring on Kapanen and Nugent Hopkins, somebody was going to have to go down. But now, obviously, that's not the case because Kapanen is still on LTIR. Hey, Gregor, I see lots of talk about Darnell Nurse trade. Do you think it happens? That one comes in from Frank. Well, I'll say this, Frank. I think it's more likely than it's ever been before. That's what I would say. In the fact that now Darnell Nurse has to agree to a trade. He's got a full no movement clause. I've sometimes if you hear enough things, okay, you make a few phone calls and talk to different people. And some people in the organization, I think there's if the right deal, first of all, it has to be the right deal for the team. Because I know, people are all down on Nurse, okay, but it's you don't just like people say, oh, just get rid of his money and it's automatically going to be better. I'm like, they still do play him the most minutes 5-on-5. So he's obviously not terrible as you think. Okay. I think Nurse could be playing better. There's no question. I don't know if I've seen him smile once this year. Right. There is like for a guy who now I get losing the Stanley Cup final, but like you had a lot of success up until losing in the Stanley Cup final. Right? You've won 6 series. There's no other team other than Florida who's won more the last 2 years. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of a little perplexed by how you could be that upset about it. I don't know. I do think at times that I've got this is my own personal opinion. In my interactions, sometimes I feel like there's never any sense from him and his inner circle that, like, it's always, oh, well, everybody blames me and it doesn't matter what I do. Now, to a point, there are times where I think the blame goes too far, but at the same time, I'm not sure the acceptance of fault ever matches at times the level of play. So I would just say this. I think it's closer than it's ever been, but I never thought it was remotely close before. So take that what it's worth. I don't think it was ever even a consideration. Now I think it's a consideration. That's probably a better way to put it. And whether that happens or not, obviously he's got a big contract. So, you know, if you're bringing somebody back, you're obviously bringing back a fair amount of money too with it. But yeah, I think it's plausible there. But just keep in mind, when you look at all the minutes, it's not like the Oilers have an abundance of depth. Like, are you sure Jake Wallman's going to be healthy enough all the time? So you trade Darnell Nurse, I have no problem if you trade him. None. But you have to have somebody coming in who can play 20 minutes a night. That's just a fact. Right? Because we'll trade him for nothing and then we'll just replace him. How? Right? You can't just go pick off top 4 defensemen who are really effective, right, off the anywhere. Teams are just, wait a second. You need a really good top 4 defenseman? Oh, here you go. We'll give you ours. No, doesn't work that way. But Frank, that's kind of where I see it at with Darnell Nurse. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. So Gregor, he's finally realizing he's the anchor of the team. Shan the man. No. And again, Shan, see, those type of comments make no sense to me. He's the anchor. You think Darnell Nurse single-handedly is the reason they've lost? Explain why. Like, people can dislike a player, but I do think it's like, they would have won if they didn't have Skinner. Really? Based on what? You're telling me that his replacement would have stood on his head in Game 6 against Dallas in 2024 to steal Game 6 and avoid having to go on the road for Game 7. You're certain that would have happened. Tell me how. No one knows that. You don't know. You don't know if the goalie would have had that good of a game on that day. You just don't know. So there's no one person that has dragging anything down on the team. Right? Is Nurse going to live up to his contract? No, he's not. But that doesn't mean, he's only worth $8 million or whatever the number you want to pick. That suddenly that means, if they had someone else that guaranteed would have won. No, they wouldn't have. You can't say that. Well, I guess you can say it, but you can't say it with any sort of truth. There's nothing to back up that opinion. That's all. It's just a comment. That's all.
One of the things that blows me away about back-to-back Cup final appearances is there's still a really large portion of the fan base that thinks this team's like in free fall. Now, granted, we're having a worse year this year, projected, but like there's a certain segment of the population that are almost as unhappy as they were during the decade of darkness. It just like permanently clouded their mind. Does it surprise you the Oilers' top 2 defensemen getting as much money as they are as divisive as they are? Is it a function of the contract?
100%. Yes. Well, it's contract with play and people kind of look at that and it's like, well, Bouchard's making $10.5 million that suddenly he's going to have to, he's got to be the defenseman I want him to be. And yeah, Bouchard's going to make some mistakes. So do lots of other defensemen. He's not the only guy who makes mistakes. Some of his mistakes, I can see them being irritating and frustrating. But again, did you see any of them in the playoffs the last few years? If you watch the playoffs close and you thought that Evan Bouchard wasn't arguably the best defenseman in the playoffs each year, it'd be really close. He was top 2 or 3 for certain, right? There's no doubt he wasn't. And so there'll always be some, but I think the problem is, people will complain more than they will applaud. It's a sad state of society. I don't really like it. I don't really understand. I don't do that with my friends. Do I criticize my friends more than I applaud them? Never. I don't do it. So I find in sports circles, but also in sports circles, people are like, the fans want it. Some fans blame Darnell Nurse. Some fans blame Evan Bouchard. Some fans blame Stuart Skinner. Some fans blame fill in the blank, right? Matthias Janmark. I've gotten texts. People blame McDavid and Draisaitl for not scoring at key times in the Stanley Cup final. So it's going to happen every year, right? To different people. I think too often in society, we fall to, these people have criticized. Well, they speak for all the fans. No, they don't. And just because your circle of 5 or 6 friends all dislike one player, that's just your circle of 5 or 6, because you can go to the next circle, a different table, and they'll think differently. which is great. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on it. But no, I'm not surprised by it because, Darnell Nurse at times can be his own worst enemy. I look at Darnell Nurse, big, strong, fast. I haven't seen once this year a guy pay the price in front of the net. I haven't seen it. Right now, I haven't seen a lot of glaring giveaways by Darnell Nurse, but I haven't. And so that's where when I watch Nurse and I listen to him and I see him, why I said, I think I never thought a Darnell Nurse trade was even a remote consideration before. He was happy in Edmonton. I don't know if he's as happy as he was before, and maybe he thinks a change of scenery. But like the Pittsburgh rumor, I know why people try to connect the dots because you have a GM in Pittsburgh that was his GM in junior. That's a long time ago. You also have a guy, a defenseman there that they could trade, Erik Karlsson, who makes a lot of money, has a big contract, and so does Nurse. So you can look at it from, the money in ways could work potentially. But if I'm Darnell Nurse and I'm going to accept the trade, if I accept a trade to Pittsburgh, I think I'm accepting a trade to a team that has zero chance to win. So why would I do that? Unless I'm that unhappy in Edmonton. That's the only reason they would accept that trade. Because once he accepted, I think he's basically committing that for the rest of my contract, I'm not on a competitive team.
If you get traded to a non-competitive team, there's way less pressure. Not to say that that's what Nurse wants.
And you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe he's going to be like, you know what? I can play in Pittsburgh. But if you're worried about what I call the white noise, like if you're going to go on social media and think that that's a reflection of society, it's a reflection of kind of, unfortunately, the negative part of society because there's way more negative posts than there are positive posts, right? Trust me. I could show you my at Jason Gregor's, right? And now it doesn't bother me. I'm like, why would I care too much about what a stranger thinks of me? Gregor, you're a piece of blank. Thanks, tips. Oh, no. Right? I think I'll survive. But if you're a player and if somebody, like, you can mute your replies so you don't even have to see them. That's not hard. Right? You can do that. You can make your account so no one that's not following you. Like if you're a professional athlete, why does your account have to be public? Think about it. Why? Unless you think you're going to make money off of it. And I don't see how you're going to. Why would you do it? Why not just make it private? What's the problem?
How can hotties DM you?
He's married. He's got 2 kids. I don't think he cares.
I thought you meant generally as an athlete. Why would you?
No, but I'm just saying as certain guys, why would you?
If social media is that bad, don't go on it.
Well, that's the other thing. Exactly. Like during the season, if I was managing a team, I'd say, guys, just take your Instagram, get rid of it. Oh. Right? You can now. The problem with that is, or go on it and make yourself a private. Like call yourself Bob Smith 1994. Invite your 10, 20, 30 friends, and they know it's you, and no one else knows it's you, and you keep it private. You can do that if you really want to socialize with your friends, which you should be able to. I have no problem with that. But Darnell Nurse, I think at times, I don't know if his attitude, like he's not at fault for nearly as much as people think. I think he gets blamed for way too much. But I also think there are times where there's not a much personal accountability to say, hey, I got to play better. That's just my perception. So I could be wrong, but that's how I view it. So we'll see. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, Draisaitl's big and never hits. Yeah, it's not his game. Mario Lemieux is big, never hit. There's tons of guys. Barkov is big, doesn't hit. Kopitar is big, doesn't hit. Not a lot of centers who hit. Let's start there. Draisaitl is, I'm not even sure what your comparison is. Darnell Nurse was always a physical defenseman. Darnell Nurse, good at fighting, likes to fight, tough, strong. That's what he was drafted for. That's his MO. That's what he does. I don't think he's done it as much lately. Now, is he maybe unhappy? Does he feel underappreciated? Possibly. I don't know all the inner workings of the team. I don't really know. But Draisaitl being big and strong has zero relevance to Darnell Nurse. Whataboutisms doesn't help the conversation.
If you made a list of Oilers who consistently answer the bell on the ice when a teammate gets rocked or knocked down or something, I would put Nurse at the very top of the list over the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, well, he's one of the few guys who'll do it. Yeah,
consistently.
Yeah, when you're right, when he has the big brother mindset for sure. If he feels like one of his teammates can take advantage, he does. I don't have any doubt on that. And that's where I'm surprised that I don't see him intimidating the opposition more in front of his own net. Like you can't be Pronger because you can't cross-check. Well, I guess you could, and then you just get suspended. But even then, you were able to cross-check guys way more in that air than you can now. I understand that. But you can still be a menace in today's NHL if you want to be. And I would say at times it can be a little bit easier. So, because there's just not as many guys willing to bite back.
Could the Oilers be burned out after back-to-back cup finals? And this is what we're witnessing. Like, guys don't have the adrenaline to go in front of the net and do the hard yards. Maybe is that possible?
That's maybe possible. I think it's Tampa Bay went 3 in a row. Florida went 3 in a row. Now they won twice. So that's maybe a different mental mindset for sure. Do I think fatigue's a factor? Yes. But that only goes for so long. And now, you know what? They'll have this recharge here. They got a homestand coming up against some lesser opponents. I wouldn't be surprised if the Oilers win 4 of their next 6 games, to be honest. It wouldn't shock me if they did it when you look at the list of opponents. If they play up to their potential, that's the big if. But yeah, maybe I think there could be some mental fatigue, but guess what? You're a professional. So now suck it up, Buttercup. Like, you can't change what happened in June. That's irrelevant now. It's irrelevant. If you keep focused on it, then you're not being as professional as you can. That's the way I look at it. Quick break. We will return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Weekends were made for Oil Kings hockey at Rogers Place. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat.
This Family Fun Sunday, your Edmonton Oil Kings take on the Saskatoon Blades. Enjoy the kids' fun zone with face painting and bouncy castles.
And it's Crazy Hair Day. Sculpt your wackiest hairdo and you could win prizes like teddy bear toss tickets, a team-signed jersey, and more.
Plus, score Calma Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Oil Kings Blades. Crazy Hair Day, 4 p.m. this Family Fun Sunday.
Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie, fries, and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is next Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridom, tandem, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
This Black Friday,
Transform your state of mind with Calm Radio. Enhance focus with timeless classical masterpieces. Unwind to soothing nature soundscapes, or drift into deep rest with our sleep music and wellness content. With 60% off a yearly membership, it's the perfect time to elevate your daily routine. Create calm in every moment and reconnect with yourself. Visit calmradio.com and begin your transformation today.
Mission Rail and Auctioneering's next. Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off a $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, the Bears. Oh, the Bears 17-9. Woo. You got Swift had the first. They got both running backs now over 100 rushing yards in that game. They got 31 carries for 234 yards combined between McGonaghy and Swift, and they each have a touchdown run. Could be running over the Eagles figuratively right now. Jalen Hurts is 9 for 18 with an interception and a fumble. Saquon Barkley, 13 carries for 56 yards, no touchdown, and he has no receptions either, for those of you who have him on your fantasy team. And speaking of fantasy, how about young Matthew Schaefer? He just scored his 8th goal of the season tonight. There's only 3 defensemen who are rookies in NHL history who have scored 20 goals. He's already got 8. Kid is off to a great. It was a nice shot too, man. Just came down the left wing and ripped it from the circle. So the Flyers, who, by the way, for the 4th time this season, scored multiple goals in less than 25 seconds. Ha! Wild. They've done it 4 times this season, most in the NHL. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Friday, you're thinking, hey, why not? Well, guess what? You can get the 2 cheeseburger meal, a chicken meal, filet-ish meal with medium fries, and a drink for only $9.99. Check it out right now at McDonald's. As we head out to Seattle, where the Edmonton Oilers will quick 1-game road trip, a matinee. The only 2 teams not playing today in the NHL are the Kraken and the Oilers, and they will do battle tomorrow. Tim Booth from the Seattle Times, beat reporter for the Kraken, joins us. Tim, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm excellent. The Kraken, 2nd best goals against average in the National Hockey League this year, behind only Colorado. What has been the main reason why the Kraken are so good defensively?
Do you like watching boring hockey? Do you like watching defensive boring hockey?
No, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. It starts there. Like, they have Lane Lambert, to his credit, came in and basically got them to understand that if they wanted to have success as a team this year, they were going to have to be a very defensive oriented team who plays with a lot of effort, a lot of structure, is going to have to grind out games, and you're going to have to get some pretty good goaltending behind that. If they were going to find wins, because they are just an offensively challenged team. It was the biggest, concern going into the season. It's remained the biggest concern. And to his credit and to the players in the dressing room's credit, they all have bought into it, and they're finding ways to win a lot of 3-2, 2-1, the occasional 4-3, 4-2 kind of win. They're coming up with ways to win games like that, and it's not a very aesthetically pleasing way to watch a hockey game, but it's the way that's working for them, and it's required a lot of effort from obviously the guys on the blue line, but then a lot of effort from their forwards like Matty Beniers and Shane Wright and Chandler Stevenson, and guys coming back and being willing to be more defensive than maybe they have in the past. And it's led to this very surprising start that they've gotten off to. And then the last piece of it is they've gotten really good goaltending. Joey Decord missed some time, but he's been really good. Philip Grubauer, Philip Grubauer was the worst, to me, was like the worst goalie in the league last year, which I know is saying a lot considering some of the problems in Edmonton. But he's completely turned it around, and he's rediscovered a little bit of what he was in the past. And he's been really good in a backup role in a way where last year they were dropping points when he was in net, and now they're gaining points when he's in net. And even Matt Murray, before he got injured, was really good. So it's just kind of all come together that they accept the fact that they're a defensive oriented team that's going to have to win a lot of close games, and so far it's finding a way to work.
Well, you mentioned Joey Decord. You mentioned their defense. It's been solid. Now their offense, because a lot of times you hear, well, you know what, a good defense leads to good offense. Well, that's not the case here, because they are second best defensively, but they're fourth worst offensively. Are they a dump and chase team? How come because if they're playing that well defensively, in theory, they shouldn't have to spend that much time in their own zone. So how come it's not leading to more offensive chances?
They are just the skill. The way I've always described it is, if you took the offensive pieces that the Kraken have and you put them together on a different team with different high-end talent, you would look at the pieces that were coming from the Kraken and be like, oh, that's a pretty good second line. That's a pretty good third line. That's a really good fourth line. If you looked at it from a depth perspective, they just don't have the high-end guy who can go get them, or guys that can go get them goals, has the individual skill in order to be able to, break down a defense on the rush and go in and create an opportunity. They're just not that. They just don't have those kind of guys. They don't have, obviously they don't have a McDavid or a Draisaitl, but they don't even have, a Nakas or a Logan Cooley or, anybody like that can just have that individual skill to come in and create something. So they're at times they would like to be a team that plays off the rush. Mostly they're a dump and chase kind of team. Go in on the forecheck, make it ugly, get some zone time, and see if you can get some sort of traffic out front, or get a deflection, get a rebound, something created from a shot from the point. Like that's how they're finding their success so far. And again, it's not leading to a whole lot of offense, but it's leading to enough offense that they're getting points, and they're getting a handful of victories along the way. You have a lot of guys that are kind of grinding their way through stuff right now. You have Chandler Stevenson's a guy who, is going to create what he can, but it's not going to be, he's trying to create an opportunity for others. It's Shane Wright's going to get a greasy goal. It's Jordan Eberle is still, playing, some of his best hockey at 34, but it's not the high end skill kind of hockey that you're going to see from other teams and other players. It's just kind of a grinded out game, which fits with the mentality of being a defensive first team, is that right, you're going to have to get some ugly and dirty goals along the way if you're going to find success.
So they take on the Oilers, and historically they haven't had a whole bunch of success. And, listening to your description, I think it mainly comes down to the fact that, Edmonton has more skill overall. Now, Seattle did beat them in Edmonton back in late October by a score of 3-2. Jordan Eberle scored twice. The Oilers in that game, kind of reminiscent of what's been their problem all season long. They gifted Seattle 2 good chances, and Eberle said, thank you, and he buried him. And that's kind of how they win, is 3-2, right? So they probably got some confidence, really, but historically they haven't done great against the Oilers in Seattle.
No, they haven't. I mean, the Oilers in a weird way, the Oilers have been, even though they never, they didn't meet in the playoffs. They don't have, there isn't the proximity of being a rival like Vancouver or whatever, but the Oilers have been a thorn in their side, especially here in Seattle since they joined the league. I think they did, I do think they take some confidence from what they did up there back in October. I don't know how you can't take some confidence from winning in Edmonton against, a team as talented as the Oilers are. I think that if you're a Seattle fan and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, what should we be concerned about? They just lost Jaden Schwartz today for the next 6 weeks due to a lower body injury. He kind of had an awkward fall in the crease the other night against Dallas. And at the time, it wasn't sure kind of how bad it looked. And we find out today that he's going to be out probably until the first of the year or just after. It sounds like, and Schwartz leading them in points, leading them in goals right now. He's one of the guys that's willing to go to the front of the net and kind of be there and get some traffic in front and take a deflection, get in there and just kind of, as I said, kind of grind it out against an opponent's defense. So him being out, tomorrow's going to be obviously the first game they don't have him. They just got Jared McCann back. So what does all that look like? I think, I tend to think that we're going to see in the next little bit kind of the true identity of what this Seattle team is. And it's going to come against Dallas the other night, Edmonton tomorrow. How do they stack up when they face some really good teams? Can they keep playing this style, which requires a lot of effort and energy, especially this early in the season? Can they keep that up long enough that they can stay in the conversation out west? I think they play 15 of their next 19 against Western Conference teams, starting with tomorrow's game against Edmonton. So I still don't know what to make of Seattle. I tend to respect the fact that they've gotten to this point and had the start that they've had playing this way, but there's so much effort and so much energy that goes into playing this way over the course of 82 games that I just don't know if they can keep it up long term. But you have to give them credit for doing it in the short term, and tomorrow's a great test for them to see if they can do that against a highly skilled team like the Oilers.
Looking at the, I want an update on Matt Murray. Is he out another few weeks?
Yeah, he'll be out. I believe he's out another 3-4 weeks. It's supposed to be right around the Christmas break, I think, when they're expecting him to be back. Again, they've had a rash of, the other part of this kind of their surprising success so far is they've had a rash of injuries. Like they lost Capo Caco in training camp. He was supposed to be top line, second line, guy for him. He came back and then immediately got injured again. He was in morning skate today, so there's a likelihood that he's back in the lineup tomorrow. They missed Jared McCann for over a month. He's the franchise's all-time leading scorer over their previous 4 years of existence. He's a guy that has to score, has to get points for them to have offensive success. So having him back is obviously a big deal for them. But then they lose Matt Murray. Now they lose Jaden Schwartz. Joey Decord was out for a week with an upper body injury. They've had all these like little things, which obviously every team goes through, but they've had it to a lot of key guys. And it's kind of, I think it amplifies and accentuates sort of this idea that this start has been as surprising as it has been, because you were down a handful of really key contributors for a while, and they've still managed to be sitting here, going into today, second or third in the Pacific, which is, again, it's a testament to them. But I think specifically to Matt Murray, I think it'll be interesting to see kind of where things stand with their goaltender situation when he gets back, because if Philip Grubauer keeps playing as Decord's backup as well as he has, then maybe Matt Murray becomes a trade option for somebody who needs a veteran backup, and maybe Seattle can recoup something from that helps them out as we get closer toward the Olympic break in February. So they definitely want to get him back. They were definitely really liked what they saw from him, both in training camp and then the games that he played before he got hurt. I think there's some opportunity there where maybe they could make a deal here or there as long as their current top two guys are still healthy and playing up to the level that they have been so far.
When you now you mentioned Schwartz and the overall offensive depth of the Kraken, they don't have a superstar guy. They've got some decent players, Matty Barzal, right? Okay guys, but definitely like they don't have a Macklin Celebrini. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a young and up and comer that everyone's like, hey, this is the and I really think they need it, right? Like I know that you can never ask an organization to lose and not play well, but do you think, Tim, that there's like any chance that Seattle's like we might have to take a step or two back before we go forward?
It was kind of the great question. If you were ever going to do it, it was going to have to be this offseason. Because you have a handful of guys that are on expiring contracts.
Yes.
This season, and you have a handful of young kids that are they're playing Berkeley Catton. Like he's part of their rotation. He's part of what they see as their future. Shane Wright is a big part of their future. Matty Beniers they expect him to be their top centerman for the next 10 years in a perfect world. So if you were ever going to break it down and have a fire sale and accumulate whatever draft picks and young talent you could, this would have been the off season to do it, and they didn't. And there's a couple of reasons why. One is I think internally there was much more belief than there was externally in what this team could be, and so far through the first quarter of the season, that's proven to be correct. This team that internally they thought could be decent has turned out to be decent. And it's one of the good early stories in the league this year. The other part of it is you're still establishing yourself in a market where in year 2, you went to the playoffs unexpectedly, and then you fell on your face the next 2 years, and you lost a lot of general fan interest. There's still, as much as Seattle has grown as a hockey market, it's the Kraken specifically still have struggled to capture sort of the casual sports fan, the fan who will jump on the bandwagon when the Mariners make a playoff run or the Seahawks are really good. The Kraken had that one period of time, their second season, where they go out and they're near the top of the Pacific for most of the season. They get in the playoffs. The city kind of rallies around it, and instead of building off of that, they fell and collapsed the next 2 seasons. And that casual sports fan just didn't latch on in the way that they probably needed to create a true hockey fan out of them. So when you take that into account with a young franchise, they're still trying to fully capture what their fan foundation is and their place here in the Seattle marketplace, because it's a busy sports marketplace here with all the teams and all the franchises that you have in this area. So to completely break it down and rebuild, that's asking a lot of your fans. Your hardcore hockey fans here might understand that, but your casual hockey fan or just your casual sports fan will tune out if they all of a sudden look and see a team that's losing 4-1, 5-1 every night, and while they're playing a bunch of young kids, just aren't competitive. So that's kind of the balance that they're trying to figure out, is how do we keep from getting stuck in the middle of being just kind of irrelevant within the NHL context, but not get to the point of being so bad that we lose interest in our own local market. It's a delicate balance that they're trying to weave right now, because they have a bunch of guys that they're going to have to make decisions on at the end of the season. Do they bring them back as they get older? Do they try and trade them at the deadline, depending on where they stand? Or do they actually see a future based on the success that they're having so far this year, where they can be a team that we're talking about in the playoffs with just a couple of tweaks, here and there in the future, and not just be a defensive, boring team, but a team that has some skill and has some excitement around watching them play. Yeah, there's no easy answer for that. I think in some people's mind, tanking this year and trying to get the number 1 pick for Gavin McKenna or whoever else probably would have been the more prudent thing to do, but that's not the route that they've gone, and this is the result so far. It's just a matter of whether they can keep it up for another 3 quarters of a season, to where if you do get in the playoffs, maybe you do capture this market again and can build off of that this time around.
Tim, great stuff, man. Enjoy the game, and hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You betcha. That is Tim Booth from the Seattle Times. The Kraken, they've been unreal defensively, but I think it's hard to win when you can, they'll stay in games, but long-term, it's not a recipe for success when you're 28th in offense. Now, they are second. Now, if you would have said at the start of the season, Colorado's number 1 in goals against and Seattle's number 2, lie. No one would have predicted that. It's a good start for both of those teams defensively. Quick break. We'll come back. We got 2-minute warning. Head coach Colin Chalk of the Condors and more. Craig Button, The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Wow. Ready for a Sally hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old mom managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "where'd I put my phone" moment.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Will Hawk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pieces for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$3.50. Welcome back. Positive Friday. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And remember, new at PlayAlberta.ca, you get the Jason Gregor Show special with odds boost and more, so you can check it out. We have two plays for you. One, we went heavily on favorites, the Lakers and the OKC Thunder, both to cover the spread, which is pretty large. And then Connor Halley special, Positive Friday. Orders to win in Seattle by 2, and they're the last team to score a goal, which I would think means he thinks they're going to score an empty netter, which makes a lot of sense. Good. That's how you win by 2, right, Cons? 4-2 with an empty netter. That's 3-1 with an empty netter. It's not like Seattle scores a ton. Like,
yeah,
that would make sense.
Optimistic, that's me.
All right, that's Connor Halley, Mr. Positive.
Not with the Philadelphia Eagles, though, Gregor.
No.
They scored a touchdown, and they could have kicked a field goal to make it an 8-point game. They went for 2, didn't get it, and now they're down by 9.
Yeah, that was an odd decision.
Sorry, extra point, but yeah,
extra point.
Just terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah. How about the Chicago Bears, man? Hands up. Who was like, I'm not sure the Bears are going to be able to do it here down the stretch, but now that's 2 wins. Well, they're 247 away from a win. I guess I shouldn't jinx it because they could be the Giants here and blow a lead in the final 4 minutes. But man, that'd be another huge win for the Bears as they just keep now they gain ground on Detroit if they win, and they keep fending off Green Bay. So they still got a tough schedule. I think they have the second toughest schedule down the stretch. So we'll see, but that's a big win or soon to be big win over the defending champs today. So that's big. Now, reminder, speaking of big, Monday, we start our 15th annual month of giving. And we got some great packages for you. You can go to jasongregor.com. You can go to sports1440.ca, and you'll see the packages for next week. They're up there. So tell a friend. Hey, you want to do some Christmas shopping? Do it here for charity. Some great stuff every week, different things. So check it out. We got Furnace in week 1. We have the golf membership at the Glendale sick golf course. Wow, that I know, that's unreal. Because it's basically a trial run for someone. Geez, I'm not really sure because you got to get shares and everything. No. You just get your 1-year membership. It's like a trial run. It's unreal. You can't get anywhere else. So big thanks again to the Glendale for that. We also have Mr. Dirks. This is one of our more popular items every year. We get guys text me in November, hey, you doing that Dirks thing? I lost on it last year. I really want it because Sterling does like a whole wardrobe for you, get some suits and stuff. And really, and a lot of it is the guys appreciate someone just saying, okay, what do you got in your closet here? Like, you know what? I remember when Struds got that done and he's just like, what is this? Get rid of it in a polite way. Because sometimes, like not everything has to be a sweater, right? So we'll see. Imagine if he came to yours, eh? Do you have anything other than a hoodie?
Other than Nation gear from 2014?
Yeah, other than a hoodie? Probably not. Probably not. So, and that and many other things. We've got big entertainment packages coming up later on and more. So next week's, we start on Monday. We also have our Pyramid of Giving on Friday, once again, which is awesome. I know people seem to really like that and get involved. And, you can make a small donation and you feel part of the team, which is awesome. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning. Brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. Late at night, on the weekends, that's how you build a legacy. LegacyHeating.ca. And Cam Tate, of course, a longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy. Cam is in a wheelchair, has always wanted to be in radio and couldn't until now through the wonders of technology. Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning. On Friday, Cam gets me to read his words. So, Connor, cue the music. Turn that music down just a bit. Seems louder. Maybe it's just in my ear. There we go. All right. Hey, Gregor, you know that Steve Martin movie, The Jerk? Of course you do. It's basically your training video. That damn AI. Yeah, nice one, Tater. Nice one. There's that legendary moment when Steve finds his name in the phone book and absolutely detonates, running around yelling, "I'm somebody now. I'm somebody." Well, this morning I woke up feeling like a cross between Steve Martin, a confused penguin, and a guy who's had entirely too much coffee. Because while the rest of Edmonton is stampeding for Black Friday deals on air fryers and 97-inch TVs, I hit my personal career summit. I got an email address. Yes, please remain calm. cam@sports1440.ca. Connor Halley immediately declared it a civic holiday. He wants to hang a banner from the rafters. Cam Tate, first team all inbox. He's pitching a statue of me outside the rink. Arm heroically extended, holding a giant foam @ symbol. I said no because with our luck, Gregor would trip over it on live TV. But here's why this glorious little email matters. I'm starting a brand new weekly feature here on the 2-Minute Warning. Minor hockey in the Edmonton area. And minor hockey, that's what the real show is. You got a kid who skates like a shopping cart with a busted wheel. The goalie who snacks between whistles because mom packed a granola bar and you said it was a long game. The coach who draws so many arrows on the whiteboard it looks like a conspiracy theory. The parent who's cheering could power the LRT. The Zamboni driver who whispers sweet nothings to the ice. And the rink manager who's been cold since the Oilers wore Cooperalls. These are my people. These are our stories. And I want every single one of them. Email me, players, coaches, managers, timekeepers, crazy road trips, frozen toes, hot chocolate disasters, all of them to cam@sports1440.ca. I'll feed them into the mobile command center, which, let's be honest, is basically me, a laptop, a thermos, and some very suspicious extension cords. Taking a heroic slurp of creative moonshine through a straw because I'm classy. And we'll see what glorious chaos spills out. Let's celebrate minor hockey, Edmonton, the noise, the nerves, the 6 a.m. practices, and most importantly, the joy. Send me your stories, cam@sports1440.ca. I'll share them before Connor gets that statue idea approved. Cam Tate, 2-Minute Warning. Weekdays, Sports 1440. You know what's funny? I've never seen The Jerk. Oh, other than Tate. But I've never seen the movie, The Jerk. So, Cam Tate got his email. So if you have any fun minor hockey stories that you want to share, send them to cam@sports1440.ca. And he will include them in a once-a-week feature here on the station. So, you know the wordsmith, how he likes to tie in stories. It should be fun.
Gotta be careful when you're asking hockey parents to send you in stories of how their kids are so awesome. There's a lot of hockey parents who would love to tell you how their 9-year-old is 2 power skating sessions away from the dub.
I don't think there's that many.
Really?
Yes. I think there's where we focus on the more. I think there might be a select few. I've coached now. This is year 6. I've never, I think, I don't even know. No, I've never experienced one that I felt was, well, maybe one that was a little delusional on the abilities of their child, but it was minor. And after a quick little conversation, it was cleared up. So I would honestly, I think we hear one bad story and we think that's the majority. I think the majority of hockey parents are just like, I'm having fun. My kid's out there, Johnny, Jackie, Jill, Sue, whoever it is, and they're having the time of their life. I honestly believe that.
Delusional parents are the best ones.
Yeah, well, there might be a few of them, but I think there's actually less. And by the way, hockey doesn't have the market cornered on. You can have swimming, track and field, volleyball. There's always someone. Heck, ask a teacher about parents who maybe might be delusional about their child's educational prowess. Right? It's going to happen. Like, it's a fine line because parents, you want the best for your kids and you want them to do well. When it comes to athletics, I think the mistake sometimes is the parents get caught up too much in they think it's a competition. And somehow, if my son or daughter is an athlete, then I'm a better parent. No, you're not. Are your kids polite? Right? Do they show up on time? Are they a good leader? Are they a good teammate? Right? Do they help others? That's really what matters. Like, being good at sports is nice. It's like a bonus. It's a good thing. It's great. But really, I'm not sure how many people truly, like, Oiler fans now, like, they see the finished product of these players, right? They're, oh, hey, here's McDavid. Like, guys are like, I didn't even know who Jack Roslovic was until this year. And now I'm like, oh my God, his injury feels like a death blow to the Edmonton Oilers, right? And these are guys that are Oilers fans, but they're not NHL fans. So they didn't even know, like, they knew he was in the league maybe, and some probably didn't. So I honestly believe that most, you go there, you have fun. I know we always hear the horror stories because sadly, no one ever tells the good stories. So yeah, why don't you share the good stories? That would be nice, because I think there's probably more actual good stories about, like, I can tell, I would recommend to any parent, if you could, when your son or daughter is in U7, be a volunteer coach. I'm telling you, like, and I just got off the practice ice last night, and our kids are starting to, at U13, and, we're a decent tier. And so, you can do more, and you see the progress and completing passes. And now they're thinking, because we're trying to get them thinking the game, and like they're reading the plays and stuff that they would never do at U7. So it's a different type, but U7, I can tell you, when we would play that, you'd have practice and then you had a little scrimmage, and you need a coach from either team on the ice for half ice. You're just there to kind of herd the cats and kind of keep the play going. Right. And in case somebody falls over, but the conversations that those kids would say to the coach in the game is still one of my favorite moments of, like, my wife would be like, I see you laughing. You smile more on the ice at U7 than any other time. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, sometimes it's hard in the moment to, if I kind of tell her afterwards, like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, oh, you had to be right there. And like, kids would come, like, they'd be skating by, coach, I got a birthday party today. I can't wait. Like, they're just, and they're having great. Hey, hockey's fun, but it realizes, like, yeah, like, that's what they matter more about. Like, they're out here having fun, but hey, guess what? I'm going to a birthday party later, and we're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese. So that's going to be unreal. Right. And so, and they just, like, they're smiling on their faces, kids score, and they're trying to celebrate, and they're trying to mirror the slide, and, or when one kid, like, runs into another kid and then, I'm really sorry, like, they're apologetic. And then all of a sudden one kid pushes the other kid and he doesn't really know what to do. So he pushes back and nothing's really happening, but it's kind of like their first time in their life. They're like, I don't really know what to do here, but I should be pushing this guy back right now. It was honestly, U7 2 years are like the greatest time and I had fun every year, but those ones were, the comments from the kids the entire year were hilarious. Like, one time we got punned, and they don't even keep scoring anymore, but of course the kids know the score. It's funny. Like, adults, again, ruin it. If you don't put the score on the scoreboard, the kids don't know. What are you talking about? They can count. Of course they know the score, right? Or at least the close proximity of the score, right? And one game, I don't know what happened, but our team was getting pumped, like 10-0. And this boy's name's Smith. He comes off the ice, game ends, buzz sounds. He goes, well, that wasn't very fun, was it? But he didn't even mean it like dry sense of humor, but his delivery was unbelievable. Oh God, I was dying. It's so, like, that to me is some of the best time in sports. And I even look at when I played at higher levels of sports, man. Like, I remember we went to provincials and junior B all the way, like, as far as you can go in the jungle. And I still remember the taxi cab rides like that, and guys sleeping in, maybe myself included, coach having to wake you up. And, like, those are some of the best sports memories, man. Like, I couldn't really tell you some of the classes I did in high school, right? Like, I remember my teacher, but there's something about sports when you feel part of a team, it can create some of the best memories ever. Right. And that's why I think now, like, I love guy golf trips when you're just hanging out in a group of guys and you're talking about nothing for hours, and it's the greatest time. Right? It is. So no, if you have good stories, share them with Tater. I think the people and for parents, I always remind you, going to the game, don't get caught up so much in the result. Right? If your kid comes off the ice and sometimes, you know what, they're going to lose and they're going to be crying, and that's okay too. But majority of the time, if they're just having fun and they want, hey, how was the game? Did you have fun today? Yeah. That's, to me, think about life. And later on, how many times you get, like, do you ever come home at 20 and you're or 25 and your spouse, your girl, hey, did you have fun today? We never ask anybody that, right? Like, how often do you say you have fun? Like, maybe if it's you go out with your friend, hey, did you have fun last night? I had a pretty good time, right? So sports gets you fun, right? We should do more fun. At least that's what I think. So email Tater. God, I forgot it already. What's his What's his email? I try to.
Cam at sports1440.ca.
I'm not going to email. I'm going to block it right away. But Cam at sports1440. He's sitting right here. That's why I said it. Cam at sports1440.ca. Let's get to the con man. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Oh, it's Friday. You're like, oh, I've had a long week. I don't want to cook. Well, guess what? Go to loca.ca and they will deliver right to your door. They have over 200 chef-prepared, healthy gourmet meals, and they are delicious. Check it out now, loca.ca. Hey,
buddy. Hopefully you get one story. Some Oilers injury updates from Jason Gregor. Jack Roslovic will be out multiple weeks. Kasperi Kapanen out a week at least, could be longer, while Jake Wallman progressing could return next week. On the ice, busy day. Avs and Wild tied at 2 apiece in the third. Devils up on the Sabres 3-0. Flames lead the Panthers 4-2. Islanders and Flyers tied at 3. Sens and Blues tied at 2. The Canadians up on the Golden Knights 2-0. And the Kings have a 4-2 lead over the Ducks after 40. Sharks on top of the Canucks 3-2. And the Leafs have a 2-0 lead over the Capitals. Midway through the second, Jets trail the Canes 1-0 tonight. Penguins and Jackets. Preds are taking on the Blackhawks. Stars host the Mammoth. And you've got Lightning victorious earlier today over the Red Wings 6-3. Bruins fall to the Rangers 6-2. In the NFL Week 13 action, it was the Bears over the Eagles, improving to 9-3 with the win, 24-15 in the association tonight. Sixers taking on the Nets. Hawks host the Cavs. Magic up against the Pistons. Suns taking on the Thunder. Jazz up against the Kings, and the Mavs in LA to take on the Lakers. PWHL third period, Minnesota leads Seattle 1-0. Canadian curling Olympic qualifying best of 3 finals. The Holman Rink went up 1-0 with a 5-4 win over Team Black earlier today. On the men's side, you got Jacobs up against Dunstone. That gets going in 25 minutes. WHL Oil Kings in Red Deer. Puck drop at 7. The Saints host Surrey in the BCHL, while the Crusaders in Brooks. Both those games will start at 7. And in the AJ4 games, including Camrose and Drumheller and Devon traveling to Fort Mac. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to another edition of 5 Questions and be joined by the head coach of the Bakersfield Condors, Colin Chalk. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI. Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
The new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel, Jasmine Crazy, multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendinitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. And it's indeed official. The Chicago Bears win again. 24-15 over the Eagles. Man, that is a massive win on the road for the Chicago Bears. Their run game was the difference. 255 yards between McGonaghy and DeAndre Swift. 255 rushing yards. Actually, the team had 281 because Caleb Williams had 13. DJ Moore had 1 carry for 10 yards as well. And Luther Burden, the third. Just about being the third. I don't know why. I just think it'd be kind of cool. But nonetheless, big win. Bears fans, the Bears. I got to think Bears fans out there must be pretty fired up because I don't think anybody saw this season coming for Chicago. I didn't see many people picking the Bears to make the playoffs, to be a top team, to be leading their division this late in the season. Good for them. Hope it continues. I always like little surprise stories in any sport. Welcome back to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Maybe you had the Bears at PlayAlberta.ca. You can use the Jason Gregor Show specials, our daily specials, of course, an NBA one, and then an Oiler one for tomorrow. Oiler fans, a little positive one via Connor Halley. So check it out at playalberta.ca. Click sports, and then you'll see on the left side the Jason Gregor Show. And that's where you get the odds boost and the daily specials. Good luck. Stay within your limit. Coming up later on this hour, we are going to hear from Colin Chalk, the head coach of the Condors. As it's always exciting in a room when one of your teammates gets called up and they see it. Connor Clattenburg scored his first NHL goal in his second game. He's fired up, and he's going to play his third NHL game tonight. And because all the other guys in the room, it's a unique. You want to be called up, but you're not jealous of the other guy. You're pretty happy because the minute you start to be jealous, then you just don't play well. Like Isaac Howard's already been up here, so you know what? He's played 17 games. So you know what? There's opportunities there for a guy like Clattenburg, a 5th-round pick. Now he brings a unique element, and it shows you that. It's not always about who puts up the most points, right? They needed a guy with some energy, tenacity, and that's what he's bringing. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch a little bit later on today on Connor Clattenburg, and we'll hear from Colin Chalk just about him. And it's, hey, Connor Clattenburg in 2 games, Wanye has not looked out of place at all.
I thought he looked great. I thought his celebration was great. Blew out Jack Michael's voice.
Yeah.
Good times.
I was talking to Jack. He said this is the sickest he's ever been in his life,
and he still.
He goes. Well, I didn't want to miss a game, but it was. He said he the next day he didn't cut. Well, they had the day off anyway, but he goes, I wouldn't have come to the rink. He went to bed the Tuesday night and he woke up in cold sweats on Wednesday, and but obviously he was feeling better later. So. Yeah, he was grinding it out. So maybe fitting that as he was grinding, a grinder scored his first NHL goal. So that was good. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, I think the team needs to stand pat and let the season play out, even if it means missing the playoffs. There's no point in making a panic move and negatively impacting the cap situation for the next few seasons. Well, I agree with you on the latter. A panic move wouldn't be good. And I don't believe a panic move is coming. I don't think Stan Bowman's been a GM for a long time. I don't think he's in the time to panic, because I think if he looks around and says, we just have a lot of players not playing up to their capabilities, including some of our best players. So unless you believe all of them have eroded their skills at the same time, I think there's a very good chance that this, is Leon Draisaitl going to skate behind the net and overskate the puck and turn it over in 2 seconds again this year? Probably not. Right? Is Matthias Ekholm with no one around him for 10 feet going to mishandle the puck, look like he's Jason Strudwick, chipping it up left and right, and then giving away? Probably not. Sorry, Struddy. It's a little bit of a uncalled for error, but it's true, right? Struddy stick handler would be the first guy to say he wasn't the smooth stick handler. But even Struddy wouldn't have made that turnover.
Struddy's driving the North End right now. Just about drove off the road.
Well, everybody knows.
Why'd he catch a stray?
It's true, but I was just trying to make a point. Like certain guys, puck handling, it's like if Struddy would have mishandled that, you'd be like, yeah, okay, he's not necessarily the best puck handler. But I don't even recall Struddy doing that. He was very good at least getting it off the glass and out, right? So, you just look at some of the decisions that they've made. I can't believe that the remote, like right now, if you look at your phone battery, when it gets to the red, right, on your phone? Well, right, they have a lot of guys who are in the red. It's like they need a charge because their energy is not high enough. Now, that doesn't guarantee that it's going to get to 100% right away. It's not as simple as just plugging it in and 2 hours later, now you're fully charged. Doesn't work that simple. I understand it. But the overall energy of this team hasn't been at the level that they've shown they're capable of for the last few seasons. You can't deny that they've got a lot of grit in the room. You don't go to the 2 Stanley Cup finals by fluke. You don't fluke your way there 2 years in a row. It just doesn't happen. Especially when you consider they absolutely demolished Dallas and Vegas last year. Like, I think some people forget, and I understand that you lost the cup, but some people forget they went 12-2 in the last 14 games. They started slow against LA, and it was almost like they spotted them and said, okay, now we'll show up. And then they won 4 straight. And then they won 4 out of 5 against Vegas. And then they won 4 out of 5 against Dallas and had lots of shutouts and really dominated a lot of those games. But it wasn't really close against 2 really good teams, a team that's been to 3 consecutive Western Conference finals, another team that won the cup a few years ago. So it wasn't like they were beating out teams that lucked their way into the conference finals or even the second round. So they're a good team, but right now the Oilers are not playing like a good team, which is a great reminder for everyone. Because you can be on a team, I don't care if you're U11, U13, U15, you won 5 in a row, you're walking around, you're like got a little strut in your step, you're the Duke when he's walking into Cook County with a fresh pair of Wranglers on. You're just like, what is happening here? I get it. We've all been there. Who doesn't like it? You get you got your favorite shirt on. You're walking in. Ladies, I'm here. Ready for action. Let's go. It happens all the time. But if you don't show up and do your work, guess what? Then you happen to be like the Oilers. Too many games, they've simply been outworked or out-executed. And I don't think their skill level across the board is that low that should continue to happen. Like, I look at their next 25. If the Oilers only win 10 of their next 25 games, which is what they did in their first 25, Connor Halley would shave his beard. That's how confident. I don't think he's ever shaved his beard, but that's how confident I think he would be to say you don't expect the Oilers to win 10 of their next 25. Would that be a fair statement, Connor Halley?
Hypothetically, yeah, very fair.
Yeah. Like, I'm not asking you to shave your beard because you've never done. But really, like, you'd probably be that confident to say that the odds of the Oilers winning 10 of their next 25 is pretty low. I'm not saying they're going to win 20 of them. Of course not. But they've been so below their skill set that, and lots of them, it's not like it's 2 guys. I know some people want to blame, it's just the goalies. It's not just the goalies. Oh, it's just Evan Bouchard. It's not Evan Bouchard. It's not Darnell Nurse. It's no individuals. This is a team suck right now. And piece by piece, they got to rebuild their team. It's basically what they do. And I think a little bit of confidence for sure. And I said it before, I think Seattle is a good first team out of a little bit of a break, because you shouldn't have to worry about Seattle throttling you with scoring chance after scoring chance. It's going to be hard to score against Seattle. They're the second best defensive team, but they don't create a ton. Right? We heard from Tim, they're a dump and chase team. So maybe you just got to work. And Edmonton has more skill than Seattle, but will they match their will? That's going to be the question to them.
Connor, you've always had a beard?
Yeah, mostly.
Even as a child?
Well, I was about 19 years old. I've told this before, and I shaved like all the way down. And one of my coworkers at the grocery store kind of called me out. My skin was pretty sensitive. Got some razor burn, maybe some bumps, some zits. Got called out on it. Just haven't gone down since.
It really
Yeah.
emotionally, it's not like that was the traumatic experience of Connor Halley's life. Now that he's like, I can't shave my beard because
Yeah.
I might have, now were you using a Bic razor back then?
That might have been it.
Yeah, I was just
You
gonna
know,
say,
it-
like, probably using a dry, like a rusty old razor, a Bic. Like nowadays, man, those new, like, trust me, as a guy who shaves his head, face all the time. Well, not his face as much, but my head. Like the new razors now are unbelievable. Like they're so good, and even the if you want to get the different type of shaving cream and shaving lotion, shaving gel, like man, your skin's so moisturized that it would be hard. Like, especially cons, you'd have to trim it down first, right?
Yeah.
Buzz it right down as short as you could, and then just get the rest off. Now, you'd probably be awkward doing it because you haven't shaved your chin or your face in years, so you might feel uncomfortable. But I bet you could do it, and you wouldn't have that the road rash on your chin.
I mean, I could try it, but what's the point?
Remember when the Mach 3 came out? Do you remember the third
yeah.
blade? I remember that's right when I was starting to shave, and I was like, unbelievable, a third blade.
Oh yeah. Now there's like Mach 5 or 6. I don't know which one it has, but
is there more than like what?
Yeah.
Not a 6 blader.
No,
sure.
maybe not a 6 blader, but I think it's 4. I think mine has 4.
Do you guys remember when the Eskimos gave away razors for Fan Appreciation Day? I think it was the year after Pepsi Blue.
Seems
what?
Yeah, leaving the stadium.
Ill-advised.
Pepsi Blue was sick. I took like 8 liters, but
Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi Blue, yeah. We were hopping on Park and Ride, me and my buddy Brandon. We could barely, we were dropping them. We had so much.
Pepsi Blue. Like, because no one else wanted it. Like, we've learned that food coloring isn't necessarily the best thing for us. Pepsi Blue.
After I drank it all, I learned to love it.
I remember going to a game at McMahon Stadium 02-03, and they gave away packages of onion soup mix. And everyone just started pelting each other with them.
Well, of course.
Like, when I say there was a 200-person onion soup mix fight, it was low. It's probably 300 people. Like snowball fights. It was the best giveaway of all time.
Oh God, there's been. Well, what about? Isn't it with the way back when Cleveland had the giveaway that went wrong? It turned into like a whole. What was it that they gave? I was going to say firecrackers, but that's not true. But they had a terrible giveaway that like people rushed the field. Like it was. I'm pretty sure it might have actually been fireworks cons. You got to look that up. I think that's what it might have been, and it was giveaway gone wrong.
No kidding.
Significantly. Before I go to break, should pass this along. Sad news for the Utah Mammoth as Clayton Keller, his father Brian, passed away in his sleep the other night, and which it reminds me. And I looked up the age of his father, and Bill Burr did the comedy special that's called Drop Dead, and Bill Burr style. He makes jokes about a very serious topic by reminding you it's a serious topic for men from the age of 48 to 60. That's called the drop dead zone because that's where lots of men, unfortunately, drop dead, right? They die, in your sleep, heart attack, and women don't do it to the same level, not at all. And why it's so important for men in that age zone to make sure you go get tested, right? You got any sort of, geez, something's wrong. And then typical guy, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just a reminder for your family's sake, if you're in that area, or maybe your dad's into that age range and you're a son or your daughter, you might just want to give him a little nudge. Hey, let's go see the doc. Let's get some proper tests just to be sure, because it's like, this is scientific. It's true. They call it the drop dead zone because unfortunately that's what happens.
And then what happens when you hit 61?
Oh, for the numbers just go down for whatever reason. I don't know if there's more stress in that. I haven't seen the science, but they've done all the studies on it. That 12-year span is where it happens a lot for men. So unfortunately, for the Keller family, awful. And sometimes you don't do nothing wrong. You could be perfect health, perfect shape, and just, it's your time, which is awful. So, but he's going to play with a heavy heart tonight for sure. We'll take a quick break. We'll return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Creative move. In week one, we have the golf member. It was a long game. Parents who is last fun, but a real
Are you tired of waking up
Gregor
tired?
Show presents
Come
Tennis
visit our
Your
sleep
membership is like a
experts
trial
at
run.
the
So I
Brick
really can't
Mattress
get anywhere
Store.
else. So.
Get Canada's guaranteed
beside
lowest
the ring.
prices on all
Arm
things
her-
sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love
Turn
it,
that music
you'll
down
find
just a
one
bit.
you
Seems
do.
louder. Maybe it's just in
Some
my ear. There we
conditions
go.
apply.
All right. Hey,
Stop
Gregor.
waking up tired.
You know that
Get the
Steve
right
Martin-
mattress guaranteed.
Hey,
Only
Gregor.
at the Brick Mattress Store.
Your all-access pass
Big
to
days.
the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen. From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on. River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at TAP 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Sports 25. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely Friday afternoon. Edmonton Oilers en route to Seattle to take on the Kraken. Remember, it's a matinee game tomorrow, so a pregame show 1 o'clock right here on Sports 1440. Puck drop will be just after 2 o'clock. Stuart Skinner will start in goal. Rostovic not playing. Kapanen not playing. Wallman not playing. They're all injured. Tomasic will be the extra forward. Tomorrow, Clattenburg will be playing with Lazar and Frederick. Nugent Hopkins returns to the lineup. He'll be centering Janmark and Henrique. You will have Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Mangiapane. McDavid with Savoy and Zach Hyman. Defense will be the same 6. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Regula, and Kulak with Emberson. So there you have it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our email inbox, Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, because we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Tonight, tomorrow, back-to-back games in Spruce Grove as the Saints exciting BCHL action. Get your tickets at the door or online, sgsaints.ca. It's a brand new facility. If you haven't gone, just check it out. It's unreal. Great place to watch a junior game. And we are joined now by the head coach of the Bakersfield Condors, Colin Chalk, joins us. Coach, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on, Jason.
Hey, Colin, are you the guy who gets the opportunity to, were you the one who got to call Clattenburg and tell him he was going up?
No, that Keith Gretzky gets to do that.
Oh, okay. All right. But you obviously hear about it probably before the player does, just so you know it's coming. But you get to see kind of the reaction. Like it's got to be pretty exciting all the time. Anytime especially someone like Clattenburg, who at the start of the season, I don't think many people saw him as being one of the first call-ups.
No, definitely didn't see him one of the first call-ups. Definitely saw him as potential for an NHL player, more so just because of what he offers, right? And it's just different than we got a lot of skilled guys here in Bakersfield this year, and with a lot of skill in the Oilers lineup. I think that's why Chris likes him as well. It's just he loves the physicality, loves dropping the gloves, and his teammates love him for it. So he does all those things that some players don't necessarily have in their tool basket, and the players on the team love him as well.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, he's producing, he's got a goal. He could almost scored in both games. Like, he's around the net, Colin, whereas, the majority of goals are scored. And sometimes it seems like such a simple thing to say to players, just go to the net. But lots of guys don't go there as often. And for him, he goes there and it's worked.
Yeah, he's going there. Some of the things in the short time that, we talked to him about is just, your arrival time, arriving as the shot's there, or if you already have position at the net, staying there. So yes, I mean, he's around the net. Like you said, he had that backhand chance there in Florida, and then obviously the rebound chance there for his first goal. So pretty cool to see. And, if you go over the shot charts, every coach will tell you that's where all the goals are scored. You look at Zach Hyman's, goal count, that's where the goals are scored. That's, on most teams or all teams for that matter. And, it's just about, there is a knack about the arrival time, getting there, when to stay in, when to move. And, so really, really happy for Connor. He's a good young man.
Coach, I represent a lot of the Iceman's fans up here in Edmonton, and I wonder if you could maybe tell us about the benefits for a guy like Ike Howard to get sent down to the AHL from your perspective as his coach. What can a guy like that have for benefits rather than staying in the NHL and maybe playing more limited minutes?
Well, I think some positives are, we can draw on our experiences, within this organization with like Ryan McLeod and Dylan Holloway and Matt Savoy, right, to name a few. One just, playing in all those situations, right? So, for Howard, he was trying to find his way as to where he was fitting in, right? So that 8-10 minute, minute a night, it was not really, getting him confidence, getting him enough touches. So, he's playing, 20 minutes a night here, and if he makes a mistake, he gets put back out there, because it's down here, you're developing and you're trying to be competitive, where, the National Hockey League is really one job, and it's to win. So, and there's a process, and you want to develop along the way as well. But the main job is to win in the National League. And, for him to go and feel what it feels like to grind and ride the buses, travel, as far as, commercial. I also think the players on the NHL roster also have a respect for that, and like the fact that, like the Matt Savoy had to grind. So, I think there's all kinds of good intangibles, not just on the ice minutes.
With Howard, Colin, with Matt Savoy, an offensive guy, and he worked on 5-on-5 power play. Also got some penalty kill time. Is that part of the plan with a guy like Howard? Do you see him maybe getting some third unit PK time?
Yeah, he came to us, just on time where we hadn't had a lot of practice time. He's got out a little bit on the PK, but for the most part, he's on the first power play right now, playing lots of 5-on-5 minutes, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, all that kind of stuff. And then, yes, we will get them. We'll get them on the penalty kill on the third unit there when the power plays lost momentum from the other side, and eventually try to, by the end of the year, Matt was on our top PK unit, and you know what else, like, deserving of it, so there's a little bit of that earned, a little bit of that, second chance, and make the most of your next chance type of thing. But yes, that's the plan for Howard.
How's Robbie Yarventi playing?
He's playing well. Yeah. I mean, he's been able to now to play in back-to-back games and be healthy. So, he's got a knack to score. That's for sure. The biggest thing that we're working with him on is just trying to get him a little bit more physical on the forecheck. He's a big body. He can do it. And that main reason is just to, offer something else and be a little different without losing that offensive flair.
Colin Chalk, head coach of the Bakersfield Condors, joins us. You got Marhala, who is putting up pretty good points for a rookie, man, almost a point a game guy. Colin, what is as the more you see him and learn his game, what do you like about his game, and what are the areas that you guys are working to improve?
Well, first of all, he's a pass-first guy. He can carry the puck. He has great vision. So those are things he already had before he came here. We're trying to get him to shoot a little bit more, 5-on-5, get to the net a little bit more, and not so much get to the net and take a cross check. The timing of getting to the net to slice through or swoop through to get a rebound, either create a secondary chance or spit it out to an open flank, and then just defensively, just learning to close a little bit quicker, be physical when needed, or have a good stick. He's a cerebral player. Have a good stick and either get the puck back that way or have a good stick being in the lane. So it's, if you're not going to be physical, then make sure you get the puck. If not, you have to, disrupt a pass or force a hurried pass, and then make sure you're bumping your man. So those things just on the smaller ice surface, are a few little things that we're talking to the player about. And he's been great, power play and face-offs. He's gone from 36% in the beginning to 66%. So he's growing in that area. Yeah.
Colin, I'm looking at your December schedule. Of course, you play tomorrow night to wrap up November, but then in December, up until Christmas, you play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 3 consecutive weeks in a row. As a coach, when you have that consistency, right, and you're playing at home every Wednesday, and then you're on the road for the first 2 weekends, and then it's a home and away the final weekend of the 19th and 20th against Coachella Valley. When you have that set schedule, do you have it okay? Every Sunday is a day off, practice Monday, Tuesday, and and then Thursday's a day off, or Thursday's a light skate. What's the strategy when you have 3 consecutive weeks of the exact same time?
Yeah, the Sunday off is always mandatory, no matter win, lose, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. And then Monday, Tuesday. Monday would be a practice day, but also skills. So the D coach would take out a few guys. The forward coach would take out a few guys. Goalie coach would always take the goalies out. So almost like an academy type style. And then not the entire team goes on, or 2 or 3 players. And then Tuesday, always day before the game, even no matter what, unless someone's having a lot of low minutes for whatever reason or come back from an injury, it's always just a team practice. So guys can go out if they want some extra time, but it's not mandatory. Okay. And then pregame skates are always optional. So part of being down here in the American League is understanding guys' schedule. I'll share a story. I won't share his name, but I'll share a story that, in college, and a player in our organization, he went to the pregame meal and used to eating 3 or 4 hours before, whereas in the American League and the National League, guys eat 5-6 hours before. So, missed a meal basically. And then now, so like learning how the pro schedule works, and then also learning what works for you. So do you need to skate? Getting your body used to what happens on the road, making sure you're having that similar routine at home. So finding that. So for us, we keep it the same all the time with little tweaks, but that allows the player not to think and just focus on the things he needs to do to get his mind and body ready. And but that would be a sample. Thursday would be a 12 o'clock practice, similar to what the Oilers would do, a light clean out if guys are banged up or need a maintenance day. They may or may not skate. And then Friday would be a pregame skate, an optional pregame skate, and then Saturday. We actually don't bring the players. And whether we're home or away, we found that when we bring them in for a meeting, let's just say at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're asking them to turn their brains on and be active and be involved. Instead, we found that we'll give them the day and allow them to get what they need. And then we start the meetings a little bit earlier on those back-to-backs.
Yeah.
And found that the players' health and wellness has been better. Now, maybe a player that scratched or the goalie that played on Friday night, he always skates on Saturday, just as an example, because Sunday would be off and the goaltender that didn't play, would essentially be off for 2 days and just want to keep him sharp.
Now, Colin Chalk joins us, and I really appreciate that in-depth rundown. Speaking of goaltenders, there's lots of interest here on Connor Ingram and how he's playing. And if you look at your schedule, do you see who's playing tomorrow in goal?
Connor's playing tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then is it so you have games Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? Does he play 2 out of those 3 is that the plan each week, or does it depend on how they play?
It's kind of, it's a little bit of both, right? Like we got to develop, and then we want to be competitive, right? So, and that also the player, they want to have an idea, right, of what's going on. They don't want surprises, but at the same time, if it's monotonous, then it just kind of becomes not fresh and not new. So, they split last weekend, right? Connor will play tomorrow, and then it's just based on how he's going to get another game, right? But whether he gets Saturday or whether he gets Friday this week is going to depend on a little bit of performance, right? And then we'll go into the following week, and it could be Tompkins 2 out of 3. So there's a little bit of competition, but we're also not letting anyone die, so to speak, or not stay sharp.
How do you feel Ingram's played?
He's been up and down. Yeah. Let's just say his last 2 starts, San Diego was excellent. We took far too many penalties. Heartbreaker. And Ontario, our team, I think our team was disconnected. And credit to Ontario, they played fast, they played hard. But the first one it surprised them. It's actually McDavid, the year he scored 60, I think he had a lot of those like kind of sneaky 5-hole goals along the ice. So, surprising to the goalie, but one that's savable for sure. And then the second one, he had it just popped in his glove and popped out. And then we didn't do a good job, controlling the rebound. We lost the race to the paint there. So, having said that, he was really good after that. He kept us in the game and gave us a chance. And we weren't really good offensively. So, his very first start when he missed training camp, he was incredible. It was calm. In Calgary, he wasn't seeing it. So that all of this is missing training camp, right? And just not playing. So, it's reps. And then also for listening to the goalie coaches, sometimes having him play, like with playing Henderson back-to-back here, right, on the following weekend. Sometimes it's good for someone who's not seeing it great to play the second game if you're playing the same team. So like those little things, we're doing those things based on, goalie experts and that kind of stuff. So, it's not just throwing him in there because, hey, he's got to play. Sometimes he needs some work and practice, and then sometimes he needs to watch and see the team to see what they're going to be like live. So that helps him the following night. So those are all things we're taking into consideration.
Colin, great stuff. Did you have a big Thanksgiving Day meal yesterday?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we the coaches got together and we went over to Matt Brayfield's house. The equipment manager and his family was in town, and it was really, 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 really nice. We had a wonderful day. So thanks for that.
Awesome. Well, Colin, best of luck tomorrow night and all next week. Really appreciate your time as always.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. You as well.
That is Colin Chalk, head coach of the Bakersfield Corners. Always get a good rundown. I love that. Here's kind of our strategy and what you do on days off and off days, strategy and practice, and a pretty honest assessment of Ingram, because, we always have, hey, is Ingram ready to get called up? I was told you got to have multiple consistent start. You want to call him up when he's confident and feeling good about his game. And you probably want to call him up when Edmonton's playing better defensively than they are right now, right? Like that's, if he's not confident in his game, and then you're going to call him up to a team that's as porous defensively as Edmonton was in their first 25, that's not a great combination. So, and I should say the other goalie I mentioned as a possibility was Ville Husso. And Dostal is now out 2 to 3 weeks, so they recalled Ville Husso, the Ducks. He played today and was unreal. Now they're into a shootout, and you should have seen some of the saves he's made. So when Dostal comes back, that's a name to see if Ville Husso is a goalie that's not going to cost you a lot, right? Edmonton right now would be high in the waiver claim, but in 2 or 3 weeks might not be as high. So it's just you don't always have to go for the biggest name, especially at that goalie position. It is. I still think they might be better with the tandem, just my own thoughts. So we'll see what happens. Quick break. We'll return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, and we'll get to 5 questions brought to you by Break.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. Ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Fountain Tire. Get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
449. And yes, thank you for the texters who reminded us. Remember I was talking about the Cleveland? It was 10-cent beer night. That was their giveaway. 10-cent beer night. And during the commercial break, I was looking up some of the chaos from that night. Like, it was wild, right? A woman ran out of the Indians out to the back then it was Cleveland Indians on deck circle, flashed her breast, and then tried to kiss umpire Nestor Chilak, who is not in a kissing mood. Oh, it was wild, right? He goes, I went with $2 in my pocket. Do the math. So think about it. $2, that's 20 beers. Oh my God. Like, oh.
What year was this in?
That would have been in 73, I think it was.
So I wonder what
50 years ago.
What would street prices for a beer have been normally? Like, was it 10% of
well,
what it normally was? Like, what would a beer have normally been in?
Well, think about it.
Cleveland
In 1970, I don't know what it would have been. $1.50, $2 a beer, maybe. Somebody out there would know, but it was 1974 is when it was. So I was close.
I'll look this up.
Yeah, 50 years ago. How much? 10-cent beer. Oh, classic. Nothing like you think about what people will do when you have you'd go to a restaurant where it was all you could eat, right? Remember Homer Simpson? They had to ban him because he was eating too much. Oh, it was a classic. Could see Kruger doing that, right? If you get to go to Bonanza for all you can eat, take advantage of it. Now there was even a place that had all you could eat shrimp, and then one of the restaurants banned a guy because he would come in and eat too much shrimp.
Like on Simpsons. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Happened in real life. So there you go. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. And Black Friday sales have been going on all week. So if you're ahead of the game, great. If not, you're going today or tonight's my night. 60% off sofa leather chairs. Also, 40% off mattresses. If you're looking for a deal on anything in your house, for TVs, furniture, mattresses, appliances, they got it all today at huge savings at The Brick and The Brick Dog.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, tomorrow, Oilers Kraken, 2:00 game. What's going to happen? And throwing a bold prediction as well.
Well, I didn't realize that they were so good defensively. I was predicting a breakout game, Oilers 6-1. So I guess that is my bold prediction, is that the Oilers are going to find a way to score 6 on a stingy Kraken D.
Yeah, what's your bold? 6 okay.
That's bold.
All right.
Who's scoring the last goal?
Good question.
Oilers.
Connor McDavid.
All right.
The captain.
Edmonton has had a lot of success in Seattle, even in afternoon games. So I think the extra days of practice. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, though. I think I'm going to say the shock is Edmonton doesn't allow 3 goals. That's my bold prediction, is they allow 2 goals or less. There's my bold prediction, and that they win.
Beautiful. Question number 2. If you can only pick one, which Oiler needs to step up the most to help turn this thing around and get them back on track?
Oh, God. I can only pick one?
Just the one.
That's almost impossible. There's so many. But I guess I got to go with someone who plays the most minutes, because that's obviously what's going to impact it, right? So I'm going to say Matthias Ekholm.
I'm going to go with a Tendy. I assume Stu Skinner gets the start.
He is starting.
Come on, Stu. Give us a 920. Give us 5 games at a 920 save percentage. Be unreal.
All right.
Question number 3. We had some curling talk on the show today. It's fantastic. Outside of Canada, when you guys think of Olympic curling, and you can give me a couple answers if you'd like, but what country comes to mind?
Connor. There is no second. There is no other country, just Canada. Olympics, I'm not even making mention of any of the other countries.
Well, to me, it's always Switzerland and Scotland for sure, right? That's who I would go with. I think they've always been pretty good at, and they're both good right now. I'm pretty sure that the now it might have changed because I haven't looked in a while. But I thought that the Switzerland women were number 1 ranked in the world right now, and I think Scotland was 1 or 2 with Canada. So I'm gonna go with it.
All right. I think I'm looking at it. Yeah, Norway's pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Norway. Question number 4. Next time we're on air, Monday, it'll be December. What is your favorite part about the month of December?
I like the week between Christmas and New Year's, Connor. I call it the upside down week. I get 2 40s of Baileys, and that's how I start my day with my coffee.
2 40s?
Like 1 40 and then a second 40. And then everybody who comes to the house is getting Baileys and coffee, half and halfers, we call them. And I'm asleep by lunch most days in the upside down.
My favorite part is the pyramid of giving.
That's much nicer than my weekend.
People get, you know what? It's always good that it's multiple days where people just give stuff just to help others and people they don't even know. And that's a pretty cool thing.
Great answer. I'll just pile on with that. Also, holiday hamper. Very fun to go out and do that giveaway.
You make me feel terrible about myself that you're both so charitable. And I'm talking about 80 ounces of Baileys in a week.
Fun too, though.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that. I don't drink Baileys, so I don't drink coffee. I can't enjoy the enjoyment that you have.
Man, oh, man.
Final question for you two fine gentlemen. Today, it is a National French Toast Day. So let me ask. Let's just say maybe it is that upside down week when nothing matters. What is the dream breakfast for you? You can have whatever you want.
Baileys. It's delicious. Never had a Baileys in your life, Gregor? Never had a shot of Baileys?
No, I've had a shot of Baileys,
It's
sure.
all
But
right.
yeah, I don't drink coffee, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm just walking around crushing shots of Baileys.
You're going to get through that drop dead window. No problemos, no coffee.
No, unfortunately, knock on wood, my dad didn't. So that's always a little in the back of my head a little bit. So yeah, hopefully not though. So I would my favorite dream breakfast, buddy. I love breakfast. Like breakfast, I don't cook a lot of dinners. Well, I don't get off work till 6, but breakfast, I make breakfast every morning. I love breakfast. So I'm gonna go with eggs over easy. Some bacon for sure. Sourdough, my wife's new sourdough homemade. It's unreal with some strawberry jam. And I like some cut up. I like to have my fruit medley of cantaloupe, honeydew melon, and watermelon all together. And I like a glass of just out of the fridge cold water.
Where you live in the Ritz-Carlton? That's a heck of a spread.
Buddy, I love making breakfast. So
Dang.
I do it all the time.
5 days a week?
No, not that 5 days a week, but eggs. Eggs. Anytime there's we make eggs probably 2-3 times a week for sure. And then I have my yogurt parfait bowl. I love it. It's so good. So yeah. Breakfast to me gets me going. Like the people who like they do fasting, don't eat till noon. Like good on you. I tried it. Oh, I can't do it. Like I'm sure I could eventually, like if I had to, right? Like I get the caveman to eat breakfast all the time, understand it, okay? But I'm not a caveman. And I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather have a big breakfast, skip lunch and have dinner than wait until noon to eat. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, no, can't do it.
One time, Connor, we went to a hotel in Dubai and everything was free. I couldn't get over it. And every morning there was lox. Like I love smoked salmon. And there was lox there. And I would say every day, I can't believe this is free. And I would eat it. And when we left, they gave me a box of lox to take to the airport. And they said, we're going to miss you, smoked salmon. And then I went to the airport. So that by far is my favorite breakfast.
It's a good one.
Yeah. They were really nice people over there.
Cons?
Yeah, you know what? I would probably say you got to have some bacon. Of the breakfast, like pancakes, French toast, waffle. I'm a waffle guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like to get that syrup loaded up in there.
In the chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Too much dough.
It's so bad, but it's
French
so good.
toast with cinnamon. Oh,
That's
yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
Maybe a cinnamon bun and but morning
Cinnamon
weirdly
bun. Good call.
and coffee. I was gonna say energy drink because I love carbonation. It's not good to have those too early in the morning. So go with coffee.
I don't know how you can't drink coffee, Gregor. Like I used to love booze like a normal kid, and now I'm basically teetotaling sober, but I've given all that love to coffee. I love it.
The taste of it, no. I tried it. I'm like, I can't do it. The smell, I don't like the smell. And I just, dude, I'm hyper enough. The caffeine, I think I'd be like, be vibrating. So no, it probably wouldn't be good for anybody in my life either.
Hot coffee in the morning, Connor. There's one of life's best pleasures, I swear. Drink tea?
Yeah, I like a tea. Never in the morning, though. I just like, honestly, in the morning, I will. Now, if I go out for breakfast, I will have a chocolate milk. But usually I just drink water.
Chocolate milk.
But a chocolate milk, I know people are like, oh, you have a chocolate milk when you're a kid. I'm like, maybe at heart. Who mocks chocolate milk? It's unbelievable. I don't have it very often, but I love the chocolate.
Chocolate milk and chicken tenders.
Oh, I've never had that.
Now you're living.
Oh my
But no, not for breakfast.
Oh, okay, but no, I've never had that combo.
Chicken fingers for breakfast. Where are you from? Belize? I assume they eat chicken fingers for breakfast in Belize.
I've been there. They do not.
No?
No, they do not. A lot of fish, though. They have unreal, the red snapper. Oh, they have a lot of good fish there. Say that.
It's weird to go to a culture that has different kinds of breakfast. When I was in
Yes.
Mexico, they'll have a cup of seafood for breakfast.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
It is. Yeah. Well, everybody's a little bit different, right? So, like people, they eat rice all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't eat rice for breakfast. Like, I'm sure I could. It's like anything. If that's what you're raised on, you're like, how can you not eat rice? Are you an idiot? So, yeah, it all just depends on kind of where you come from. But rice for breakfast? No, thanks. I love rice for dinner. Maybe even for lunch, but not for breakfast. Can't do it. Can't do it. Wanye, have yourself a great weekend.
Thanks for having me. Everybody get home safe.
Yes. Give yourself a little extra space. Roads are slippery. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Now just think about, you're visioning this. You're sitting in the intersection. You hit your accelerator. You don't go anywhere. That's a sign. You need winter tires. You can get winter tires at cost right now. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Some Oilers injury updates. Jack Roslovic will be out multiple weeks. Kasperi Kapanen out at least a week, could be longer. And Jake Wallman progressing, could return next week. In the NHL tonight, Maple Leafs on top of the Caps, 2-1 in the third. And getting going in the third period in Carolina, Canes and Jets tied at 1 apiece. 3 games tonight. Jackets host the Penguins, Preds in Chicago, and the Stars taking on the Mammoth earlier today. It was the Wild getting past the Avalanche. 3-2 in shootout. Devils knocked off the Sabres. 5-0 Flames over the Panthers. 5-3. The Sens fell to the Blues. 4-3 in Canadians over the Golden Knights. 4-1. In the NFL, Week 13 action, Bears over the Eagles, 24-15. With that, the Bears improving to 9-3 on the season. In the NFL, you got the Bulls and Hornets, Sixers taking on the Nets, Hawks host the Cavaliers, Bucks meet the Knicks, Thunder host the Suns, and it is the Lakers taking on the Mavericks. PWHL earlier today, Minnesota on top of Seattle, 3-0. That one just wrapping up. Canadian curling, Olympic qualifying best of 3 finals. Home and Rink went up 1-0 with a 5-4 win over Team Black earlier today. These are best of 3 in the WHL. The Oil Kings taking on Red Deer at 7. BCHL, Saints host Surrey, Crusaders in Brooks. Both those games are going at 7 o'clock. Also, and in the AJ, you've got 4 games, including Camrose and Drumheller, and Devon traveling to Fort Mac. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Alan Mitchell, host of the Lowdown with Bowtide, and Craig Button from the NHL on TSN. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tallboy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksYEG.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Did you know the Brick is proudly Canadian owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 3 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. How are you? Made it through another work week. Congratulations. Hopefully, big Friday night plans. Also, tomorrow, remember, matinee game, Oilers, and the Kraken. You had a few days to relax, calm yourself down. Now you're ready for some more excitement or punishment. Depends which one. But tomorrow afternoon, pregame show right here, 1 o'clock on Sports 1440. This is Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. The Oilers currently in the air right now, getting set to take on the Kraken tomorrow night. And time now for the Speckless Report. The Spec, who's been off celebrating his 60th birthday. He will be back next week, in case you're wondering where Spec is. Hey, when you get that old, you need a week off, okay? That's it's good for him. Brought to you by GS Construction, underground infrastructure specialists. On the roads to get you home, running water, they do it all, and they're hiring. You want to work for a fantastic company that looks for people who want a career, not just a job? Go to GS Construction. Apply today. As the host of The Lowdown, Alan Mitchell joins us. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. The snow is here. Winter is here. That's okay. We need the moisture, and it definitely feels like we're getting towards Christmas now. So it's all good.
Yeah. No, it's why not? Hey, we needed the snow, man. I'm with you. I don't even mind a little shoveling. It's great. Get out there, wheel around. It's fantastic. The Edmonton Oilers, they got a shovel out of the hole. Well, thankfully for them, the hole isn't that deep because, look, even today, the other day they didn't play and all the teams around them lost in their division anyway. And I'm looking, and Vegas loses again today. The Kings lost, although that was in a shootout to the Ducks. Vancouver loses again. So there's not a lot of teams that are separating themselves in their division from the Edmonton Oilers. And that's kind of the one saving grace, that they haven't, as bad as they've played, they're really not out of it.
Yeah, it's true. And they've done this before. The Oilers have had periods where they didn't play well before, but especially under Knobloch, they've always been able to cobble together like a 7-game win streak or something around this time of the year, the middle of the year, that puts them right back, on track. And I think that's what they're obviously hoping for. But there's also things to work on. That's if they didn't have areas that they could improve in, they're just not good enough. That's one thing. This team is plenty good enough. They just need to be a little more disciplined and a little more aware defensively. And I think that the goaltending is part of it, but this defense has not played structurally well. And that includes the forwards, but structurally well for some time. And whatever, if it was a hangover from the Stanley Cup final, then it's time to get over it. And these injuries don't help at all, but getting Nuge back, I think is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but they lose Roslovic, right? And then that is who would have thought that on October 8th to be saying, geez, I really missed Jack Roslovic. But my goodness, the fact that he's not expected back anytime soon and is going to be out multiple weeks. So that's kind of vague on how long, but it definitely doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. And ordinarily I'd say, you've got a young winger down on the farm who's playing well, but I think they should leave him down there. The fact that they sent him down meant that there was something to work on. He's done very well down there, but when they bring him up, they need to put him in the lineup and have him there to stay. They can't yo-yo the guy up and down this year. So at least at first, anyway, Mangiapane came here with a reputation of having some skill. They've got some guys. Hyman is back. Podkolzin plays well with Leon. Matt Savoy is playing well. I'd run with what they have. I like the lines today. I think you've got to kind of count on the players that you've got here, and maybe they can, have a us against the world kind of attitude. Bringing up the kid, I think that would put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make any recalls right away here for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see. Now although if Mangiapane doesn't get going here, they might, because that would be the spot, right? If I look at guys in the top 6, that would be the spot. Now, if Trent Frederick finds his game, then maybe he swaps positions with him. But there's Trent Frederick's a guy who has got to get, well, I could say it about 10 players in the team, right? The list of guys who don't have to get going was Roslovic, Clattenburg, Emberson, and that might be it, to be honest, right?
Yeah, it's true. And I keep telling people this, and they probably think I'm lying, but I watch a lot of Bruins games, and we haven't seen the real Frederick in Edmonton yet. He's a really good player, and the style of player that Oiler fans love, he's just, not there yet. And I believe he will get there. And I have seen, not in a straight line, but I have seen some improvement in the last few weeks, and hopefully that will continue. And boy, if he could break out and score a couple of goals in Seattle, that'd be nice.
Well, just one, right? Be engaged, be physical, right? That would be
he's late to the play,
yeah.
Jason. He doesn't get to the play in time, and that's to me a skating issue. And maybe I don't think it's a conditioning issue. I think he just needs to, it's a hell of an injury. Leon took a long time to recover from it too. So I think he's still recovering from that, and he is not playing the game that and it must be frustrating as hell for him, because he really is aggressive, and he agitates, and he gets people off his game, and that's why Edmonton got him, and I believe that they'll have it by the end of the year.
Yeah, right now he looks hesitant, no question, right? And when you hesitate, you're dead in the NHL. That's usually what it signifies, right? You're hesitant, and then you're dead. And so we kind of see what kind of where it goes from from here on his play. I think there's a confidence issue probably and a few other things, and kind of see where he goes. The other one, and I was asked this earlier, Alan. People ask me, hey, are the Oilers going to make a panic move? I don't think so. I really don't think they need to panic. As I mentioned, like they're 2 points out of a playoff spot, despite being a 500 team. So you don't have to panic. But how realistic? Because there's lots of rumors, and rumors usually follow teams when they're struggling. So I get all that. Do you think the Oilers actually make a significant move before Christmas?
I hope not, and I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. I don't think that Stan Bowman has 2 goalie moves to make this year. I think he's already made one. Now I think he has one more, and I think that you want to have a larger pool of available talent. No disrespect to Binnington or Soros, but that they can't get Soros anyway because of the money. But or Jari. I just think those guys are players who Jari's got like another year on his contract. So does Binnington. Binnington's a veteran guy. He's got a Stanley Cup. He played well at Four Nations. But I just think that you want to be more sure. And as you said, and I know people won't believe this, but Skinner has had a good run here. Not recently, but there were times during the first 25 games where he was playing well. Pickard, not so much. I'd be really hesitant to do anything. I know that it's a struggle and I know it's difficult, but I might even, depending upon, and I don't know when he'll be called up, but before the deadline, maybe they'll get a look at Connor Ingram, and that will sort of, pave the road or lead the way or indicate where they're going to have to go in terms of goal. And I still hope they get a big power winger like an Alex Tuck. That would be a nice get, but I think it will be after Christmas, just personally.
I don't disagree with you. I look at the Oilers and I think first of all, you can't really tell what you have until you have more of your core players playing well. And I think that's what they're going to wait for.
Yeah. And that's fair because, and even Hyman, who's in the lineup, I mean, it's not like he's, playing poorly or anything, but we know that around the net, his touch around the net is maybe a little bit delayed. Nuge is just coming back. This Roslovic thing came at a very bad time. I mean, he really had played exceptionally well. And then, on the defensive side, I love Jake Wallman. I just don't see him enough. That's what I really like the player. I really do. But he's, he's got some injury issues. We talked about that before the year. But I'd like to see, Wallman for a time. And then Regula, I think maybe a little bit of the concussion, it takes a while sometimes, even when you play, it takes a while to get back to normal. But there's a lot of that. And I know it's around the league too. I know there's injuries everywhere, but I think we're just talking about the Oilers right now. They got some guys playing who are going to play better as time goes on.
You would think so. What's your expectations? Like, Zach Hyman's come back. He's got 2 assists, and now he's played more in the third line. He's going to be back with McDavid. I know he's still wearing, his wrist is healed, and I had a really good conversation with Zach about it. Like, it's healed, but you don't have 100% range of motion yet. And people that you can play, there's probably slight pain here or there, not risk of re-injuring it or anything like that. But because of that, what's your expectations of Hyman then?
Well, I think, if he plays on the McDavid line and if he gets power play time, I think that over a full season, and remember, we're 25 games in, that's, that obviously that means that there's, 50, what is, I'm going to do math live on the radio, Gregor.
57 now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So there's 57 games left. Hasn't scored yet. So I still think he can get 15 to 20. And if he gets hot, then, who knows? But we have to remember that the 50-goal season is in the past. What did he get, 34 a year ago? I can't remember now. But if he got to 20 in the games that he plays, I think that would be a really good season. And I think that's a fair expectation. Roslovic was going to be the guy who posted the big number this year on right wing, and that's kind of gone until we know when he's coming back.
Al, have yourself a good weekend. What's your expectations for the Oilers in Seattle?
I think they'll win. I think it'll be a tough game, and it'll be a game that there's some encouraging signs, but I think it'll be about a 4-3. It's going to be too many goals for the coaches to be happy, but I do think they'll win, and they're they're going to see a little sliver of daylight and things that are starting to work. That's my guess. This team, it has reached the bottom. You can tell from the comments from McDavid and Draisaitl the other night. And now it's time to build back, and I think they will.
Al, have a great weekend.
All right. Give up on the Eagles. They got no chance.
Al, you know what? It was Positive Friday. I wasn't going to ask you about it because it was a tough loss today. Again, the Bears literally ran roughshod over the Eagles.
Yeah, they did. And the good thing is that the Eagles offense made sure the Eagles defense was out there all damn day. That really helped.
Touche. Have a good one, Al.
All right. Be good. Have a great weekend.
There you go. That's Alan Mitchell. When we come back, Craig Button will join us. And we had something. You want to talk about Connor Bedard last week. We're going to talk about it now on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both.
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
17 games last.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction lets the story old pipes tell us a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more. Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Tonight, 6 till midnight. Don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person tonight at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Black Friday is on now at GMC. Get a $1,000 Black Friday bonus on all 2025 and 2026 GMC models at participating dealers. Whether it's the bold Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab, the rugged Sierra 2500 HD AT4X, the versatile Canyon, or the adventure-ready Terrain Elevation all-wheel drive. Every drive delivers unstoppable performance and premium comfort. Get your $1,000 Black Friday bonus now. Conditions apply. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tall Boy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. Delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular priced menu order when you use promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca. Remind you, $60 million tonight for Lotto Max. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck. Good luck, I tell you. The Oilers, of course, taking on Seattle. Busy day in the National Hockey League. Lots of games, and lots of games already finished. That doesn't happen at 5:25, but of course, a holiday out in the United States. And most of the games, well, everyone has, no, that's not true. There's 2 yet to start. The Predators and Blackhawks will get going at 6 o'clock our time, and then Utah and Dallas. Tampa Bay beat Detroit. The Rangers crushed Boston. The Wild win again, 3-2 over the Avalanche. Nathan McKinnon scores his 19th goal. Kirill Kaprizov scored 2 goals, including his 200th, becomes the fourth fastest non-North American, basically a European player, to reach 400 goals. Not bad. McKinnon did have a goal and an assist, and Matt Boley had the shootout winner. The Devils spank the, on the scoreboard, the Devils won 5-0. The Sabres outshot them 42-23. So it's funny how that happens. We see shutouts for team. Guy gives up 45 shots, gets a shutout standing on his head, and the Devils win that game. Calgary goes into Florida. What's up with the Flames? Flames, after a terrible start, I think are 7-5-1 in their last 13 games. The Flyers won in a shootout. I'm telling you right now, it's not even close. Trevor Zegras is the best shootout player in the NHL, maybe the best in history. That guy is money. And he's got so many different moves. He can go in there and like a sloth pace, barely moving scores. Today, he came down the right board, slow, and then he just sprinted. Speed comes right in, no chance, scores. Like, that guy is a wizard in the shootout. There's no debate. He's the best shootout. Like, UC Okanagan maybe used to be that guy. Trevor Zegras is the best shootout guy I think I've ever seen. He's really good. The Blues get a win over the Senators. Canadians on the road in Vegas win. Ducks in a shootout over the Kings. 5-4. Sharks beat the Canucks 3-2. Now, let's talk some hockey. Craig Button from TSN joins us. Butts, how you doing, my man?
I am really good, Jason. How are you doing?
Good. Now, before we get to anything, I know last week you teased us with, hey, I want to talk Connor Bedard and Braden Point. So what would you like to discuss about Connor Bedard and Braden Point?
So I've looked at it in this regard. Like, we know Connor Bedard is a really good player, and he's performed at an exceptionally high level this season. So now, to me, it's not as simple as this, he makes the team. There's got to be a place for Connor Bedard. And, Point's already named to the team. Reinhardt's already named to the team. So right now, there's nothing that would indicate that Connor Bedard's going to take those guys out of a spot. But here's why I would have Connor Bedard on my team now. Because Braden Point, injured, hasn't had a great great start to the year, obviously. Obviously, John Cooper knows what he's capable of. But in the event that Braden Point cannot perform at the level, I think that that's the spot where Connor Bedard could step in and play. So at the very least, I'm going to have him as my 14th forward. And that's why I would have him on my team to mitigate against the loss or maybe not the ability of Braden Point to play at the level that we've seen him play at.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, right? He hasn't played to the level that they would like just yet. I don't think there's any debate about that. Well, it's his own level, and he's been really good. And the thing is, Tampa Bay's in first place, and Braden Point has done very little so far, which might make Tampa Bay a little bit scarier than people think right now. But yeah, I could, like, the way Connor Bedard's playing, it's going to be hard to keep him off the team. I look at the other guys, like I look at Konechny and I look at Jarvis and I look at Hagel and guys who are on that team, Mark Stone, who's now back. But I'm like, are you telling me that Connor Bedard isn't going to be better than all them? Like, I think he is. I like Mark Scheifele, Celebrini. I think there's going to be four new forwards on this team, Craig, maybe 5.
Yep. Well, I have all those guys that you mentioned, Scheifele, Celebrini on the team. So, again, Konechny to me is not on the team. Mark Stone not on the team. So, again, I'm just trying to, I don't think, like, they're trying to form, like, why you'd have, I'm just telling you my rationale for Connor Bedard. It's not, like, he's not going to unseat Sam Reinhart. Yeah. He shouldn't unseat Mitch Marner. And if Braden Point's playing at the level that he's capable of playing, he shouldn't unseat Braden Point. But in the eventuality that you have players that a little bit hurt, and John Cooper's going to know that better than anybody, or not. You want somebody that can go in there. I don't need it. Like, if you're losing your scoring, you're in trouble. Like, you can lose a checker. Like, you can't lose a score. I'm just telling you my rationale for why I have Connor Bedard on the team.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm with you. I think it makes a lot of sense. So it will be fascinating. They're about a month away from having to announce that team. And the one thing, Craig, in this month, that when you look around the NHL, my goodness, guys seem to be dropping like flies. Although Dostal's the latest one. Jack Roslovic in Edmonton is out now again. Kapanen got hurt in practice, for goodness sakes. Like, there's a lot. There seems to be, and I'm going to go through my NHL buddy, but it seems to be more injuries this season.
Well, I think there is a lot more injuries now. It's a really compacted, compressed schedule, and so let's combine 3 things here. The level of intensity and competitiveness in the league now is unbelievable. The speed that the players play at, how hard the game is. It's hard. It's hard in a different way than it used to be. Number 2, the compressed schedule, like that becomes a real significant thing. And now the lack of rest, the lack of recovery leaves you more susceptible. And the playoff race starts on October 7th. Doesn't start in January, it starts on October 7th. And so that factor, everything that goes with how fast the game is played, how intense the players are, how tight the games are, and then no recovery. Don't be surprised that there's going to be so many injuries in this season, and don't be surprised when we see more.
Yeah, well, you're probably right on that, which is unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that's. But it's one of those things. If you want to have the now, you could always start the season a little bit earlier, and I think that would be I think that should be open for discussion. No question. I know they're planning on doing it next year, but on years when you have the Olympics, I think you should start a bit earlier to compensate, so there's less wear and tear in the players. I know it means a week or 2 short of an off season, but whatever. I think it's something you could at least consider for sure.
It's a week or 2 shorter for the teams that go to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Okay? 16 teams, are out in the middle of April.
Yeah.
Another 8 are gone by 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we're talking, but when we have a league-wide scenario where things are falling off, that becomes really significant. That becomes a real challenge.
Yeah.
So to me, when you're looking at these types of things and you're looking at how you try to mitigate against them, that's what you got to look at. And to me, again, starting the 3rd week of summer, we have outdoor games in Los Angeles and Florida and Tampa Bay and Dallas. Like, give me a break. We can start playing games in the latter part of September, and the hockey fans are going to be into it. And it doesn't matter if we're going against the NFL or college football, Major League Baseball. It doesn't matter.
Yep. No, I agree with you. It's not going to matter significantly overall to, I think, your bottom line as much as some people like to think it would be. There are a few teams, Craig, that, I look at and we get deeper into the season, and Like there's no one really who's separated other than Colorado and maybe Dallas. And Minnesota's really starting to roll. They had another big win here again today over the Colorado Avalanche, but the Avs still get a point. They've only lost once in regulation, which is wild. But I look at a team like the Winnipeg Jets, and now we've had a week of no Connor Halley, and they're 0-3. And I should check. I think they lost in Carolina, or they're losing. Yeah, they're down 3-1 with 2 minutes to go. So if they don't have a miracle comeback, they'll be 0-4 without Connor Halley. Now, it's not like they've given up a ton of goals. They're not scoring any goals, Craig, but you were 12-7 with him. Now you're 0-4 without him. And you've got a back-to-back. Now you play Nashville tomorrow. Then you play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, another Saturday game. This is, it sounds crazy, but a 10-day stretch here with the Jets. Like, I thought they had to go at least 2-3-1 in these games. You end up going 1-5 or something. You dig yourself a real big hole because Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota are flying. You're then begging for Utah to slow down.
You're exactly right. Listen, Connor Hellebuyck, we know. I mean, you don't end up being the MVP of the National Hockey League and by accident. I mean, his brilliance is known. And I think that the Winnipeg Jets have played better defensively. When you have backup goaltenders in the net, you're going to get backup goaltending. The backup goaltender, and Eric Comrie's a wonderful backup goaltender. He's not a starter. They're going to have to really evaluate. Do they have to go out and look at a short-term solution here? They very well may be that team that has to do it and looking at their season, because you start to fall behind. Like you just said, the Central Division is tough. And, Chicago's playing well. You just talked about Utah, right? We know where Colorado, we know where Minnesota and Dallas are at. Well, all of a sudden now you're looking up and you're looking up and you're not seeing daylight. And now that's 2 weeks, that's 3 weeks. And the goaltending is not going to change, Jason. It's not going to change. You're hoping, you're trying to make sure. The big reason they're not getting as much offense now is because they're trying to tighten up defensively, and they have. They've been a good defensive team in years past. In recent games, they've improved and gotten better. But you start now to fall behind, and you're trying to protect your goaltender who are backups, minor leaguers. Thomas Milic is not ready for the NHL, in my view. You better seriously start examining. You got to bring somebody in to kind of plug the hole right now, because it's a significant hole.
Oh God, it is, right? Speaking of filling a hole,
people say, but again, but we know how much offense they have. But when you got to start to tighten up defensively, guess what? You're not going to be as good offensively. You can't be.
No.
And so now you got a double-edged sword that you're staring down that's gonna cut deep if you don't address it.
Yeah. I look at addressing that goaltending issue. And I think in Edmonton, it's foolish to want to blame everything on the goalies. I got all the numbers to tell you that that's not the case. Now, that being said, the goalies could play better. I firmly still believe, Craig, that in a perfect world, you bring in someone to improve on Calvin Pickard who can battle with Stuart Skinner. And I think the cost to do that is going to be less. Because otherwise, if you bring in someone just for Stu Skinner, well, then you still have the backup. His numbers for last year and a half, goals saved above expected, everything like that, aren't necessarily great. That to me is like move one. Would you start the smaller move first? Like usually when you're doing a home reno, Craig, you don't do the big thing. Oh my God, it's the worst thing. Let's try this first, see if it works. If not, then we'll go to the next one, which is a bigger move. What do you think they should do in their goaltending in Edmonton?
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, we all love Calvin Pickard, right? And he's a great story and what he did last year, and we know how beloved he is by his teammates. That's great. Guess what? You need wins. You need better goaltending. And I think the way you frame it with Stuart Skinner, having somebody that can push him and challenge him, ease the burden on him, I think that becomes. Listen, when Calvin Pickard was playing really, really well, that was what he did. He eased the burden on Stuart Skinner. And now Calvin Pickard is playing at one of the lowest levels of any goaltender in the National Hockey League. So that's not good enough. And yeah, we can talk about Stuart. Stuart is what Stuart is. Okay, I don't think you can expect anything more from Stuart. Stuart is what he is. So how do you improve your goaltending? You don't you're right. You can go and get a clear-cut number one and upgrade on Stuart Skinner. Good luck. Good luck finding that guy. Teams aren't looking to give him. I know people say, well, what about Jordan Binnington? Like, I'm not so, like, you sit here and you hear this stuff, and I'm going like, yeah, okay, I understand why you want Jordan Binnington, but do you think the St. Louis Blues are throwing the towel in on their season? They're not. And when you start to consider how you try to improve in that position, I think you look exactly in the area that you just pointed out. That's where I'd be looking at it. You know, you think about, like, and there's goaltenders available. And Devin Cooley, who was a really good goaltender in the American League last year. Now, I'm not suggesting that, like, but that type of guy, he's now become a real important player for the Calgary Flames to ease the burden on Dustin Wolf. There's guys like that out there. And you talked about acquisition costs. That's how you got to look at it. Short term, see where you can get to. And then if you got to do something bigger, then you do it.
Yeah, well, I would agree. Now, here's a guy I looked at, Craig, and he's got some NHL experience. He played today for Anaheim, who lost Dostal for 2 to 3 weeks. Ville Husso, who was in the minors. He's their third goalie. When Dostal comes back, they're going to either have to put him on waivers, or maybe that's the guy you look at. What's your thoughts on Ville Husso?
100%. That's exactly the type of guy you got. He's better than Calvin Pickard. And you're looking for short term, right? You're looking for short term. You're not trying to get a guy. I know, like, you know, Mark Denny and I did something yesterday where we talked about, like, the ideal guy. Yeah, you Soros would be an ideal guy. First year of an 8-year deal. Okay. Like, is that what? And maybe you look at it, but you think that cost is going to be, like, insignificant? It's not going to be. So exactly what you said. I mentioned a guy like Devin Cooley. Okay, I'm just saying what he's done. So the Flames have him, but that type of a player is exactly the type of player you go and you look at. I was listening, watching, reading. I mean, we all read and listen. Like Laurent Brossoit. Well, like Laurent hasn't played in 2 years, and now you're going to ask him to come in and save it. I think that's a reach.
Yeah, no, 100%. Right? Like, I think that is that you're putting way too much pressure on someone like that. Like, who knows what he's capable of? Like, he's got to go play in the American League first. I just think he has to. Right? Like,
he's 33 years old. Okay,
Yeah.
like, I mean, he's had major surgeries. He hasn't been able to play for 2 years now. And what? He's just going to miraculously come in and play? I'm not taking that chance. Full stop.
Yeah, nor would I. I think it's too big of a risk. Like, and that's why, like, I don't. You know, I've seen the talk about Tristan Jarry, and then there's like Jarry and Carlson for Nurse and Skinner, and I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I don't see how that makes the Edmonton Oilers better at all. Eric Carlson's not a better defender, and I don't think they need more offense.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. You know, but again, you know, you get a lot of noise in that in the arena, so to speak. And certainly the noise is a little bit bigger in the Canadian market, and certainly in Edmonton, where, you know, their aspirations to compete for a Stanley Cup are there. But bottom line is I mean, some of the ideas that get thrown out there, I mean, I shake my head. Like, I saw something today on Steven Stamkos, and we're a good fit. Now, I can tell you right now, one team told me, they said, like, where do these guys get this information? Because or where do they start speculating? Because we have no interest in Steven Stamkos. Not today, not tomorrow. They give them to us for free. We don't want them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You look at his.
Where would be a good fit for Steven Stamkos?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, like, he's got 7 points, Craig, making $8 million.
I'm just telling you what a team told me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's got 7 points, making $8 million a year. Like, who? Like, I could see there being interest for Ryan O'Reilly for sure, but Steven Stamkos, like, the guy's got 7 points playing, 17-29. Now, do I think Steven Stamkos can be a better player than he has been in Nashville? Probably. But when you throw in the contract in a cap world, right, it's like, well, would I take Steven Stamkos for 2 years at $4 million? Yeah, I could see somebody being interested, somebody, not everybody, right? Because you do wonder if Tampa Bay was just a little bit ahead of the curve in knowing where Steven Stamkos was at. And now maybe it's change of, he's not playing with Kucherov and Point and all those other guys, right? So maybe there's that, or maybe he's slowing down a bit.
I would say to you, Jason, teams better get ahead of the curve. If you're not ahead of the curve, you're going to be anchored.
Yes.
And, Steven Stamkos is automatic Hall of Fame. He's been a great player, great Tampa Bay Lightning, great person. Okay, but the best before date has come, and if you don't recognize that, Bill Belichick called it dispassionate assessment. Trade a player a year too soon, or let a player go a year too soon, and having them a year too long. You got to keep them. Listen, I remember, and Doug Armstrong had a great comment. Darian Hatcher was the captain of our team in Dallas. Great captain, great player, awesome for the All-Star. They couldn't get to an agreement. And the argument came down to, well, geez, where's your loyalty? And Doug Armstrong told the agent, he goes, you want loyalty? Get a dog.
Yeah.
That's dispassionate assessment. And let me tell you this, Doug loved Darian. Darian lived with Doug when he was a young player and he was breaking into the league. It wasn't about that. It was about what's best for our team. And so the fan base is, oh my God, how can you let him go? Well, go ask the Tampa Bay Lightning fan base right now if they wish they had Steven Stamkos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You can't let emotions run your decisions.
No. And that's the noise, right?
Yeah.
And you better be careful of that noise, right?
100%. Craig, what are you watching hockey this weekend? Where are you?
I just landed in Denver. I'm going to do the Canadiens Avs game tomorrow afternoon. So flew down here this afternoon from Calgary. That's why I had to come on a little bit later. So I appreciate you accommodating me, and I'll fly back to Calgary tomorrow night. One and done.
So you want to go watch that borderline average exciting team that's only lost once in 24 games? Not bad. Not bad.
I know. I know. And then Chicken Little, the sky was falling a little while ago in Montreal. They've won 3 in a row and 2 on the road against Utah and against Vegas. So,
it's a huge win for them. Colorado, though, look at this. They lead the NHL in goals 4-4, and they lead the NHL in goals against at 208. Like, they are a juggernaut right now. No question.
They are. They're on pace. I think going into today's game, Mike Kelly at Sport Logic put something out and said they're on pace for 139 points. That would break the Bruins record.
Oh, yeah. No, it would. But
yeah,
ask Tampa and Boston how those 60-win seasons. That's what's crazy and heartbreaking about the NHL. It's a whole new season once you get to the playoffs. It's crazy.
It's so true. So true. So anyway, you have a good weekend. Good chat with you. We'll talk next week.
You betcha, Craig. That's Craig Button from TSN. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. We'll come back, wrap things up. Busy Friday on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Mission Rail and Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is next Friday at 9 a.m.
featuring graders, excavators, forklifts, loaders, man lifts, skid steers, plus commercial trailers including 3 unused 2023 Timmins 55-ton triaxle lowboys. Info at maauctions.com.
Tonight, 6 till midnight. Don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person tonight at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Missioner Island Auctioneering's next. Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
This is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Favorite us right now.
Powered by playalberta.ca. If you gamble, use your game sense. Learn more at gamesense.ab.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by eWell. Get your power play amped up with eWell, supplying the city of champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. eWell.ca is your partner in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Welcome back, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. I'd mentioned earlier that I think Zegras is the best shootout player we've ever seen in the NHL. And some guys say, hey, boys, what about Sam Gagner? He was pretty money. Well, I looked it up. So Trevor Zegras now has 18 goals in 26 attempts, which is what is that? 70%. The next closest, and these are people that have scored at least 10 goals. Jason Robertson is at 58%. Kozlov was 58%. Panarin's 57%. Freddie Gaudreau. Hands up who thought Freddie Gaudreau was top 5. He's at 55%. He has 11 goals on 20 shots. I'm looking for Sean Horkoff. 47%. He has 11 goals on 23. So Horkoff, as far as an order goes, he would be the best for the orders. I'm looking at Sam Gagner, and I don't. Geez, Gagner. Well, I got to find out. I got to go in alphabetical order to find him and see what Gagner's at in his career, because he did have some. There he is. He has. He was 31%. He had 26 goals. Now, he did go 83 times, right? So he shot a lot. That's quite a few, actually. So, it's harder when you shoot that many, but his percentage isn't anywhere near Zegras. 68%. Gagner was 31%. I'm telling you, Zegras is almost money in the bank right now in the shootout. So you get to the shootout, Philly's almost like, okay, we're up 1-0. That's how good he is right now. UC Okanagan was good, but didn't shoot very often, from what I'm understanding. And looking at his overall numbers, I got to find the Usinator. Where was Jokinen? He went. He was actually. You know what? UC Okanagan scored a lot early, but he scored 37 out of 96, so he was 38%. Now, Zegras is 68%. He hasn't shot as much, granted, because he's younger. And there's not as many shootouts now as there used to be, so it'd be pretty hard for him to want to get all the way up there. But he's only, as I mentioned, Zegras has only had 26 attempts now. He's got 18 goals already. 18 goals. The most goals all time in a shootout. Cons, any guess? Which player has the keep in mind, this is since 2005, 2006, right? So obviously it's somebody in the salary cap era. So you got to think somebody who's been around a lot of that time, who scored the most goals in the shoot.
I'm just going to go with the guy who's been around for a long time, Sidney Crosby.
Sid the Kid, he is close. He is tied for 5th, but it's sweet hands Patrick Kane. 53 goals. He's a 40% shooter. And the other guy shouldn't surprise you because he crushed it for Team Canada. Jonathan Toews, 52 goals and 111 attempts. He's 46% shooter. So that's pretty damn good for as many attempts as he had. So not bad at all. But Trevor Zegras right now, money in the bank. Oilers would like to get someone like that. Not that they go to a shootout very often. Everybody have an awesome weekend. Please don't drink and drive. Don't weed and drive. Get home safe. Turn your lights on. And give yourself a little extra space so you get home without a fender, bender, or even worse. On behalf of Declan Kruger, Connor Halley, I'm Jason Gregor. Thanks for all of our guests all week. Go to jasongregor.com. Individual interviews there or anywhere where you download your podcast, or you can rewatch the show on YouTube. And remember, Month of Giving starts next week. Check it out, jasongregor.com. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy. LegacyHeating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Busy night in the NHL. One game right now heading into the second period. Jackson Bengals tied at 2 apiece. Later on, you got the Stars and the Mammoth and the Preds in Chicago. Earlier today, Rangers knocking off the Bruins 6-2. Flames got past the Panthers 5-3. Blues over the Sens 4-3. The Ducks come back to beat the Kings in a shootout 5-4. Maple Leafs falling to the Caps 4-2, and it was the Canucks losing to San Jose 3-2. In the NFL, you had one game today. The Bears improved to 9-3 on the season after they knocked off the Eagles 24-15. And in the association tonight, Bulls taking on the Hornets. Right now, Bulls on top 22-21. Bucks have an 18-10 lead over the Knicks early in the first. Later on, Thunder host the Spurs. Nuggets taking on the Spurs, Thunder, and Suns, and the Mavericks up against the Lakers. That'll do us here on the Gregor Show. Up next, Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Sting Radio station.